think we're good. Yes. Welcome back, everybody. This is Mark 76. What did we say? The Super Civil Servants Podcast. My name is Greg, the Bad Daddy 52, and with me, as always, my co-host Nathan. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, Greg. Doing good. Man, we got some pretty juicy things to dissect and touch upon today, and I'm ready to break it down.
Disney stock rose, for sure. Like literally.
Something else, right?
Crazy. Other host here too, Chris. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. 1 week till break for me. 1 week. 1 week till 2 week break. So
yeah.
I'm very close.
That's the worst part about the post office, I think, is we're off Christmas Day.
Yeah, that does stink for you.
Me too.
Like, yeah.
Me too.
And Nathan right there with me, so it's like Christmas Day, and that's it. Like nothing else. So, but part of it, get used to it. So.
But thank you all in the post office for delivering all our lovely stuff these days. And I know you probably hate us all.
I used to know. So. And of course, we got to round up all the hosts. Sarah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited. I have a clean driving record now. Yay!
Nice. It's always good.
Sorry.
The legal system works.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Well, it's been hanging over my head since March. It was just kind of like a stupid thing, but anyways, it's over and done with, and that's one less anxiety that I have to deal with. So, but other than that, I'm like super excited to talk about all this. Everything. Oh my gosh, it's just been so fun the last couple of days. So
All the things.
Yes.
All the things.
I actually didn't have the opportunity to watch any. Yeah, there you go. I didn't have an opportunity to watch any of these things yesterday. I had to kind of listen to everybody else react to them, and I'm excited about it. And then when the
You made Travis literally fall out of his seat laughing when you texted him. What's going on? He's like, he texted messaged me privately saying, "Is he serious?" I said, "I really think he is."
I've been unplugged all day doing stuff for Christmas and family, it's funny because sometimes the group chat will blow up, like my phone will just go off then, bam, 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 and I'm like, okay, I gotta mute it for a second. And if you mute it and you're gone for like 30 minutes, you've missed 6 days worth of stuff you gotta read, and it's just like, oh my goodness. So I miss a lot.
Confession. I had no idea any of that stuff came until I'm going this morning, and I see Marvel Alliance 28.5 come out, and the name, the bold in bold letters, Fantastic Four confirmed. I went, huh? And I started looking in there, and I'm like, what? Like I hear it in like in the first 5 minutes. Like I wasn't expecting trailers. So I go, oh, stop what I'm doing, go to the Marvel page, and just started going through all of the trailers. I didn't even watch them. Didn't even know nothing about them until like 4 o'clock this morning, 5 o'clock, whenever the episode dropped my time. And then I stopped and just started going through trailers.
I guess I just didn't realize what was all involved with the investor call, because I remember, Chris, you guys talking about it, saying, that it was coming up. So then I just, my Twitter, the DMs just started hitting. I said, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? And your guys were like, it's this, and this. I'm like, oh gosh. So then I went back into my feed, and then I saw everything started popping up. So, yes, thank you. So Brian's on the other side of the room. I'm sitting here. He's looking at some things. I'm looking at other things. He's like, did you see this? Yeah, did you see this? So we're like watching all these trailers, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's lots of fun.
I didn't get to watch the trailers until about an hour ago, and they were awesome.
Just for. Go ahead, Greg. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just saying, I was listening to the Marvel Alliance today, and like listening to y'all describe the trailers, and then after I listened to you describe them, I'm watching, and I was like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Oh, that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, it does help.
It's pretty cool.
Thankfully,
and just for the record, Mr. Snell. Yeah, you got to keep it up this time, watching it like that. They didn't come for you.
Yeah, we did. Since we don't play the sound, and we talk pretty much throughout the whole thing. But hey, 100 views on that video and still counting.
See, I gotta tell Travis that because we played the Wonder Woman trailer on Monday, and I was like, "Are you sure we can do this?" He was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Just play it. As long as we talk over it, it's fine." So, gotta make sure that we don't do sound next time for sure. But we didn't get shut down, so.
Or you could have been like some streamers and get shut down when you're doing it live.
Yeah, I don't want that. All right, well, before we get started tonight, we are going to talk about everything Disney did yesterday because they kind of threw a big punch. I don't know. Do you think it's got to be an answer to Warner Brothers? Do you think? I mean,
I wouldn't, just because this has been a call that was supposed to happen back in November.
Okay,
I think the how it was done was more of a response to how DC fandom happened, because a lot of stuff, like from the beginning of the show and the elements and the go back and forth, the presentation, reminiscent of DC fandom. So,
Okay.
you know, this was probably recorded a week or so ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it was more of the live chat that happened offline with the analysts that probably was more responses to Warner Brothers. But the biggest thing is they're still committed to their big releases going to theaters, so we'll see.
Yeah. Good.
I was gonna say I have a different approach. I don't think this was more of a volley back to the other side. I mean, just with the nature of everything that came out, it was because of what HBO did. Like it just turned out that way. But if you remember Bob Iger's memoir, there was a whole section where he talked about Disney Plus, and he went to every single head and said that streaming was the future or whatever. And like I mean, they were. Mandalorian was their tester. Yeah, like that was their like, hey, let's see what live action does, and just so happens Star Wars was ready to go before their MCU products. And with the success of the Mandalorian and like going full steam ahead, like, and with the trust they have in Feige, I think all that, like, maybe they threw out a couple extra ones, like, oh yeah, and Armor Wars and Nick Fury. You know what I mean? Maybe they threw a couple extra in there, just like, yeah, take that, dicks. But like, I think all this was already like, this was the way that we were going anyway. They were planning on, this was the plan from the like 2 years ago. They just now are ready to unveil all their answers and stuff. And yeah, it just kind of happened to work out when 2 weeks ago or a week ago, HBO Max was like, hey, you know what? These movies, guess what? Have them at home. Fuck what our goddamn filmmakers think or their producers. We don't give a shit. You can have them at home. A week ago, HBO Max was like,
take
hey,
that.
But like I said, I just think it's timing. Guess what? Have them at
Sorry, I'm trying to get things working here. I had too many people talking to me right there between getting the YouTube stream up. Hey, before we get too deep into it, let's talk about the network.
Network?
Yeah. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, where you can find shows 7 days a week. Plenty of shows on the network. We got World's Finest True Believers, DC Alliance Podcast, Marvel Alliance Podcast, Star Wars Alliance. We have a Ranger Alliance. Super Civil Servants, which are on right now, superhero discussions, weird science, DC and Marvel comics, and there's also a slice of film. I'm not going to tell you the days they are, because you're going to go check out the network to find out when they drop, and that's kind of my that's my seller right there. So go check it out. But there's something dropping every day. It's really fun. We appreciate everybody who's listening so far, and a thank you to all the patrons. We do have a Patreon account. There's 2 tiers. You got a $1 tier that helps keep the lanterns charged, and then a $5 tier where you can get exclusive, ad-free, and early episodes. So go check that out, and everybody who's a patron, really appreciate it. And thank you to our listeners. We are an ad-supported network. There'll be 2 ads in this show. Back to it. Here we go. What do y'all want to do first? Do y'all want to do movies first, or do y'all want to talk about?
Let's do the
movies.
Yeah. Let's go with the ladies' choice.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So we're not going to be recording next week or the week after, because next week's the week before Christmas. Someone's going to be I don't know if someone's going to be traveling, but someone's going to be busy getting stuff done. And then the following week is Christmas, so we're not going to be recording the next 2 weeks. We'll drop episodes, but 3 retro shows. So we're going to do something kind of Christmassy here. Mm-hmm. I thought we could all do our top 5 Christmas movies. And we'll just kind of run through the list and talk about what the movie and how you love it. And go 5 to 1. So, Sarah, you want to start us off with your number 5 movie?
To be honest with you, I mean, I love Christmas. There's like, I'm a sucker for like all the stupid Christmas movies, like on Netflix and Hallmark, the dumb stuff. But I don't know if I really have a top 5, but there's one movie to me that just epitomizes Christmas. And I talked to Katie about this, and that is
Die Hard.
Ernest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
To me, that is the Christmas movie, because we need another Ernest. We just need him.
R.I.P. Fred Varney.
Yes, it's just I absolutely love that movie, and it's
Jim Varney. That's it, Jim Varney.
So you need Ernest, you need Vern. I mean, you need them all. Yeah. I mean, it's but. Other Christmas movies, obviously.
What's a Slinky?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. But and then obviously, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You got, I don't know. It's just, we're talking about Christmas. When you have kids, it's more like Rudolph,
Chris is gonna like my list.
Frosty, and all this kind of stuff. But
I've got some humdingers on mine.
But it's just.
Oh no, you just.
Ernest is just, to me, that's just the epitome of Christmas. I mean, that's just that's something I always watch with my mom, and that snake scene always just blew my mind. It can make me cry. I can think about it right now. It would just make me.
When I think Ernest, I don't know why, but the one that comes to my head is Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yep,
and
that's
I
mine
don't know why,
too.
like I can see that movie in my head right now. That's Ernest Scared Stupid.
Ernest goes to camp.
Ernest goes to jail.
Like,
Ernest goes to jail is really good too.
Ernest goes to the DMV. That was a good one.
Or even just the Pine State commercials. I mean, it was just like. But I mean, I wish I had more of a list, but I mean that's my list. Ernest Saves Christmas. That is 1 through 5 to me. Period.
All right.
Because I always wanted that girl's hairstyle, with the hair up, with the poof, with the yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was my my 80s thing. Yes, I'm showing my age a little bit, but yes, I love that.
There you go. Well, Chris, what about you, man? What's your number 5?
I don't even know if I have a number 5. I just have a list, so I'm just gonna choose. I think I have like some top 3, but at this point, I'll well,
just give me
go for.
You thought okay? Yeah, just give me one, and we'll go.
Yeah, I'll give you one. I'm gonna go. We'll go classic on this one. We'll go with Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes.
The black and white one or the new one in '95. I really, it's a good message. I think it was such. I think it was a progressive movie for even its time. Just looking at, the commercialization of Christmas back when it was filmed, and then even the updated one really brings that forward to what is really Christmas about. Is about the gifts,
presents.
or is it about the presents, or and I'll tell you what, both actors who portrayed Santa, including I think my favorite's the '94 version with Richard Attenborough. Mr. Jurassic Park. He does always he just had the laugh, the look, and everything like that. But yeah, just I love it, and definitely, my wife and I always start December with going through Christmas movies. We have not watched that one in a couple of years, so that may be on our list watching tomorrow night. So.
All right.
Very nice.
Nathan, throw it at me.
Not necessarily in any particular order, and confession. I don't really retain a bunch of Christmas movies. Like when I was a kid, I watched them, I was real into it, but it's not like every year I was like, yes, Christmas movie time, whatever. If I catch, you know what I mean? If I catch them, I catch them. I'm not the guy that's okay, we're gonna sit down and December 1st we're watching this and go all and that's fine for people to do that. I don't care, but me personally, I'm not that guy. So I'm just gonna give you 5 that I know I've seen numerous times and I can remember and that I really enjoy. So my list might be a little off the beaten path, but the first one is okay, and I can't remember the name of it. Which one's the claymation with all the toys on the Lost? Is that Rudolph where they're on the island?
Yes.
Yeah.
Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just network.
I loved that one as a kid. Yeah, I loved that one.
But the older you get when you watch that one,
Rudolph.
You realize how much of an ass Santa was.
Oh, such a dick.
I'm like, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
Now you want to talk to him when
but
he
I
can
don't know
help
why,
you
but
out?
I was like,
I love that movie as a kid. So and I can see if it's on right now, I'll watch it. And Frosty's the same way, but that one I just remember the Island of the Mist, defunct toys and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, when I was a kid, I was like, I feel like I'm a defunct toy, I want to be one of the cool ones, and I love that movie.
We're riding an ostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as you, Nathan. I don't really have. I definitely don't love the classic movies people love, It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street and all those movies. I'm more of I like a funny Christmas movie, a funny Christmas movie. And
you gonna say Die Hard, right?
In the '90s, there was a lot of them then, so I grew up with a whole lot. So just I put mine in the list, so I'll go with I'll definitely own my favorite one, but I'll just say Jingle All the Way. With Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad and everything. That was a great movie back in the day. Turbo Man. I love that they had a character in there, and I thought Turbo Man looked awesome. I really did. That was a really awesome costume. That was when Arnold was in his prime. He was in everything. He was like the Rock of today. Everybody wanted Arnold to do something, and it was just a fun role, man. And I remember going to see that movie numerous times. Well,
I remember seeing that in theaters.
I remember seeing it in theaters, but I know I saw it so many times. And I love Christmas movies you can watch non at Christmas and still love them, and this is one of them for me. So I love Jingle All the Way.
It is a great one. It's a great one.
Sarah,
all right, Sarah,
said your 1 through 5 was?
Let's see. What's
give us your
one?
next Ernest movie.
No. I'm trying to think what else is something that I think White Christmas is a good one.
A little bit of Bing Crosby.
Yeah, with yeah. I mean, that's always one that just you think of the song, you think of that stuff, and I've always liked the classic movies. Like when I think that's a fun one to watch and just see. It's just the nostalgic, like the going back and seeing like the costumes and all that kind of thing. It's like old Hollywood, that kind of thing. So that's always a fun one to watch.
I'm shocked you don't have like some of the cheesy Hallmark ones on there because my wife is a sucker.
I got one of my
Some of the
Hallmark
ones
things.
that I have watched like in the past. Look, there was one that was so cringy. I mean, I just couldn't. I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh. But I will say, I will have one on my list though. I will have one on my list.
I say Hallmark Channel, great for holiday specials,
Netflix.
and the man always being the bad guy.
Always.
The man is always the dick. He's
Always.
always he's the bad guy, the murderer, the reason for the strife and problem, and there's always a holiday special. So if you want Hallmark, you know what you're getting.
There you go. You nailed it.
I got the formula. Don't worry, I got the formula.
Chris, what about you, man?
I'm gonna go kind of a little far out there, but it works. Probably one of my favorite, definitely on my top 10 list of all time, or at least definitely 15, 10, whatever. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer. Takes place during Christmas. It's one of those that's saying, is it really Christmas movie? Oh, Christmas is a big part of that movie.
I ain't thought of that movie in a gajillion fucking years. Wow, like that just brings it back.
I've never seen it.
I've seen it. I have seen it.
Yeah, might check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Batman and Iron Man. Come on, guys.
That duo at that point. I wish they did more movies. That was a perfect pairing. But yeah, I mean, it's a whodunit. It's a takeoff on.
What year was that movie? Do you remember?
Oh.
Was that late 90s?
No.
Like early 90s?
No.
2000s? It wasn't the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Really? No. I thought late 90s.
I mean, I remember
2005.
Damn.
Wow.
Really?
I'm old.
Yep.
I'm officially old and senile because I can't remember.
It's a takeoff on all those, it's Shane Black kind of playing with the idea behind those old pulp detective novels and kind of bringing up to speed. In fact, they talk about that in there, but the fun murder mystery and, like I said, the comedy back and forth between Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. Yes, I know I'm skirting the edge of a Christmas movie, but Christmas does play
it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Just wait till my next one.
No, I wouldn't. I think the rest of mine pretty much fall into full Christmas, so I'm gonna deal with one skirting on the edge.
There you go.
Sure.
Well, let's hear your
That's
next
a good
one,
one, Chris.
That was a good one.
Motherfucking Friday After Next.
Because
that's a Christmas movie.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
That's a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie. I've seen that movie a million times. Santa Claus breaks in, ho ho ho, motherfucker, when he beats him with the Christmas tree and shit. Like Day sleep, but he said, "Oh, for Christmas, 2 fat bitches and a cheeseburger." He's just like, oh God, I love. Me and my friend watched that movie. I swear to God, for a year straight. But I love that movie. It is definitely a Christmas movie. Like Ice Cube, I love those Friday movies, and that one is just one that I've seen a million times.
Yeah.
Speaking of Friday, can we have a little moment of silence for Debo?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't mean to bring it down, but I was just talking to a friend of mine about that, and I was like, oh, Debo.
Wow. Crazy.
Anyway.
Pour one out for Debo.
That's right. There you go. I'll do it in a second. Okay, 4 for me. Another one just from my childhood that I just absolutely love. The Santa Claus, the first one with Tim Allen.
Yes.
Love that movie. Yeah, I can watch that movie over and over and over again. this is once again a time where Tim Allen was like the biggest guy in Hollywood. This was there was a time where he had the #1 television show, the #1 movie, and the #1 animated movie when Toy Story came out. With Toy Story, Home
This
Improvement,
is all
and
after going to jail for the 80s for
yeah,
running
that's
cocaine.
what I'm telling you, dude. This guy was huge at this time, and this is kind of when he was in his prime.
He
And
was, yes.
yeah, he
Huge
was
in the
huge,
drug
dude.
world, huge in the movie world. Look at him. What a transition.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something about that movie, and you have to have like the old VHS because you will not find this line anywhere.
Mhm.
In the movie, at one point, when they're doing the handoff of the kids, stuff like that, she writes the ex-wife writes down her number, and he looks at it and says 1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
Yeah.
That is not in that. When you pull out the DVD of
Really?
one, that is cut out.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Love that.
Nathan's like, damn it, I gotta find the VHS now.
No.
Yeah,
Stop
I'm sure
it.
Goodwill's probably
Yeah.
got it. I'm sure.
Oh, what? Did I just get in a time machine and go back to 92 when phone sex lines were all the rage? Because that's the only way you're using that.
All right, Sarah, you're up next.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, since we're talking about cheesy Christmas movies,
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Netflix has
Sure.
been just cranking them
Yes, they
all
have.
out.
Yes, they have.
I think it was last year, Claire and I, my daughter, I was like just thumbing through it. I'm like, I came across this movie called A Christmas Prince. And it's basically about this journalist, or she wants to be like a high-end journalist. Be quiet. She wants to be a high-end journalist, but she ends up going to like following the story for this prince from this one like European nation, that's like this big. But it's a really cute movie. I mean, it's really sweet. I mean, it's really, that kind of romantic, but it's not too. It's just cheesy. It's just this time of the year you just enjoy. It's just feel good type stuff. So it's so good they made 2 other movies. So you had the wedding and the baby. So.
Are we grading on a curve when we say good? Because come on, we know it's.
Okay. I mean, we're not looking for like,
I'm not saying cinematic masterpiece.
none of this stuff. It's just, but Christmas is the time where you watch movies that make you feel good. They might be stupid. They might be just like when I read a Nicholas Sparks book. I'm like, you don't know anything about women, but it's still, a feel good type of book.
I watch the dumbest shit just because I like it. I totally get it. I mean,
it's just fun. It just makes you feel good. It's like, you sit home, especially if I'm watching my daughter, she sees, princess, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, darling, one day, but not today. So, I mean, and it just, it's interesting because you realize this is not real in any stretch of any reality, not unless you are royal. But, you have the big homes and all the lavish decorations and all that kind of thing. I mean, I got a Christmas tree in my living room, and I'm just good to have that right now.
Yeah.
So I might have another couple of them.
Amen.
So, but it's more like the visual of it. And, you have a Christmas ball and, you have all this, that, and the other. And you're like, oh, it's so pretty. So it's just like a feel good. I mean, that's kind of what Christmas is. One of the aspects of Christmas. It makes you feel good. It's a feel good time of the year. So plus you can sit there with your daughter and just kind of watch ridiculousness. Yeah. She's like, oh, it's so pretty. So
what was it called again?
A Christmas Prince. And actually there's 3 movies in that. You have A Christmas Prince, then you have A Christmas Prince, The Wedding, and A Christmas Prince, The Baby.
And then you got the 4th one, Christmas Prince, The Revenge.
The divorce.
I was going to say the attorney.
It's really sweet. It's really
they didn't
sweet.
make it.
Plus the prince is really, and the prince, he's not really, I mean, the girl he marries, she's pretty, and he's actually very handsome. But I did watch one movie. Be quiet. You be quiet. I might be married, but I ain't dead. But there was this other one that I saw, and it was like around Christmas. And this one guy, I don't know what, dude, he made me like cringy. I don't know if it was almost like he was too perfect. It was just like, ugh. But anyways, okay.
That is a typical lady thing to say. You're too nice, that you're too perfect. I don't want to take it slow with you. You're too nice, that you're too perfect.
I mean, he's like all chiseled, and it was almost like you're too perfect. It made me uncomfortable.
Feel like you'd be with one of the gods?
I don't know. Maybe so. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but I don't know. It was weird. It was just weird.
Sarah
I'm
got
sorry.
intimidated.
I did. It was crazy, and I'm not one to be intimidated.
She's like, I could cut cheese on those abs. What the fuck? I gotta get out of here.
Well, you know what I found out? And then I had to like Google this dude and kind of find out he is like a fitness guy and a model and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, but his acting was very wooden and very, it was very cringy. But anyways, I digress. Okay, next.
Squirrel.
Sorry.
Squirrel. All right, Chris, give me one.
It happens.
All right, this will be my cheesy one, but my wife introduced me to this movie, and I think we usually start watching this movie every single holiday season because I know she likes it, but I've actually grown to really like the movie Love Actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's one of those that you got like 5 or 6 different stories going on, and then you see kind of connections throughout the movie, and it starts off really good. You got an voiceover by Hugh Grant and he plays the Prime Minister of Great Britain, and he talks about, because this was done, movie I think either came out the same year or a little bit after 9/11, so he talks about on 9/11 we didn't hear about all the bad stuff about phone calls and things like that. All we heard about people saying I love you, because love actually is. And so I think there's a lot of funny parts. I think Bill Nighy, who just steals the show.
Guy?
No, that's Bill Nye. Bill Nighy, if you Pirates of the Caribbean, he was Davy Jones. So.
And he was also in
Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale. Oh shoot. What's her vampire?
Underworld franchise?
Yes,
The Underworld franchise?
Yeah.
So he plays a washed-out
Kate
singer.
leather
He's
suit.
he's trying to make a comeback, and so he's trying to do a new takeoff on a Christmas song. And then you've got Liam Neeson, his wife just passed away, trying to deal with his son who's fallen in love, and it's all these different.
Very particular.
It's like all these little vignettes that kind of like.
I have a very particular.
If you've never seen it, there are 2 people.
I will kill you.
There are 2 stand-ins who are doing porn at that point, who are like porn actors and actresses that are falling in love. So I mean, it's a whole thing. But it's a very. I really have grown to really like that movie because it makes you feel all these different stories, stuff like that. It does make you feel really good, and it makes you kind of appreciate all the different things that like you have and what love is to different people. So yeah,
I like it. Nathan?
And by far, at the end of the movie, there's this little girl, and I don't know how she doesn't have a singing career at the end of this, that she sings probably what many people consider just the overplayed song Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. But oh my God, that little girl at the end of it, I prefer her version.
Really?
It's probably been years since I've seen that movie, but
yeah,
it is good. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you, Nathan?
Definitely coming on the edges, and I know our CEO, Mr. Snail, won't like this, but Die Hard. Because it takes place at the goddamn Christmas party.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a Christmas movie.
Party.
Yeah.
It's Christmas Eve. Yes.
Christmas movie.
That is mine, and I've seen that a lot. Because come on, Bruce Willis and Die Hard. Come on, man. John McClane. Come on. It's great. I enjoy it. So that is mine. And I can watch that any time of year, but especially like when it's snowing outside and stuff, and that comes on, because they play it a lot in the wintertime stuff. You're like, oh yeah, we're hunkering down for this one. You see it on HBO or something, or streaming somewhere.
Well, we don't have snow around here, so I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, it was 62 degrees today where I was at, so I was like, holy crap. No, it's not normally like that, but it was weird. But all right, number 3 for me. Like I said, it's not really in any kind of order here. I'll just say Home Alone. Classic.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
If you're my age, you watched Home Alone when you were younger, and that was life. It was right around Ninja Turtles time and all that stuff. So
yes,
I mean, just classic movie. I can't say much for the sequels after that, but the original Home Alone just amazing. I can watch it anytime.
Too.
Huh?
Yeah. I watched the shit out of Lost in New York too, because I was
I watched it a lot. But it's not nearly
where I
as
get
good.
everything paid for.
Yeah, it's not nearly as good.
Yeah, no, it's not. but it's still, it was in the world. I've told you, I'm a sucker for stuff. I owned both Mortal Kombat movies as a kid, and Annihilation was nowhere near as good as the first one. The first one is hot garbage if you watch it again. Guess what? Watch both of them back to back all the time. Guess what? Watched all 3 Turtles movies, and we all know how Turtles 3 is. Just because it was in the franchise.
Cinematic classic Turtles 3.
Yeah. Watched Batman Forever and Batman and Robin with the other 2 Batman, because you know why? I'm a completist and I'm a purist. So I'll torture myself. So I get it.
There you go. Sarah,
I've got another Netflix one that my kids found and enjoyed very much. It's called.
That's a lot of Netflix and chill.
Yes, I do. Christmas Chronicles.
Yes.
The one that has.
I've heard things about it.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's got Kurt Russell as Santa Claus. And I have not seen the Christmas Chronicles 2 yet. I can't pin my youngins down so they can watch it. Because it's got Goldie Hawn as Mrs. Santa Claus.
Right.
Mrs. Claus. So, but that was a really cool story. And the reason I liked it so much is because you had an older brother and a younger sister. And welcome to my house. But, it's just kind of how they came to grips with Christmas and really what it meant to them. And that kind of thing. So I thought it was a very endearing, Christmas story, where one felt like he kind of lost the spirit, but, the other, she was all about it, and he just found it was just a very kind of along the lines of Santa Claus.
And his heart grew 4 sizes by the end of the movie. Something like that.
Oh my gosh! You just made me think of another one I have not even thought of.
I'm telling you, once you start thinking about Christmas movies, they'll all come to your head. I had to make a list.
Yeah.
Every Christmas movie I could.
I didn't even think about Home Alone until Greg said it. So that's a great point. I'm hearing another one's going. Yep. Or Jingle All the Way.
I was trying to remember if Mighty Ducks was during Christmas, if any of those movies were during Christmas, but I think I'm just mistaking you being around ice. So
yeah,
I don't think those are Christmas movies.
Hey, let's think. Wait. While we're right here, let's put a pin in the movie stage. But let's think about the first Mighty Ducks movie. Coach Bombay is an alcoholic, DUIs and shit, and as his punishment, they're like, hey, go turn these kids into a hockey playing team. What? We're gonna have the alcoholic that's unreliable who lost? All right, yeah. Go throw him out there. He's gonna be the one that's gonna be the moral center to round these kids up. Which I just, by the way, I love Mighty Ducks. I'm just saying.
Yep.
That's a great. Just sit down and think of the plot of that movie. And as a kid, I loved it. I was like, "This is the greatest."
Hey,
but now I'm older.
The series, the new movie will be coming out on Disney Plus next year.
Coming soon, Mighty Ducks Alliance, 2021.
There you go.
Coming at you.
Let's hold off. Let's finish the Christmas.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
Before we chase that.
All right, Chris, sorry.
All right,
let's go.
Chris, get on.
All right, I'm gonna go the one we just watched this weekend. It's already been mentioned, but it's the go-to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 ornaments on my tree, one of which is the squirrel being chased, and then another one with Carl just saying all the different sayings. Come on, Cousin Eddie, the whole. The squirrel running through the house, the cat. There's so many.
Can't even think about that laughing.
good lines. Even the opening, how's that car survived that whole ordeal is beyond me. But
yes, that's a classic. Absolutely.
Yeah. Nick, you got one?
Yes, my number 2, which you can kind of use it. It's kind of versatile, but Nightmare Before Christmas. God damn, do I love that movie. What a great movie. And my kid recently discovered it somehow. I had no idea. I'm guessing that iPad and YouTube, because he come and wanted to watch it, and I was floored, and I was like, all right, dude, we can do this. I will sit. Yes, let's do this.
We watched it at Halloween.
Man, what a great movie. Yeah, that's what I said. It's versatile. You can put it either or, so.
Claire's got a Sally, and Gage has got the Jack. So the tall dolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
My next one, I guess, was going by rank. I was going to say National Lampoons, but since it's already been said twice, I'll just throw one of my honorable mentions on there. And I had a couple. Christmas Chronicles was an honorable mention. How about Elf?
Yes.
Loved Elf. Like you could put Will Ferrell in just about anything, and I'll like it. I mean, there's only a few movies I don't like with him in it.
It's funny.
I realized going into a Will Ferrell movie that I'm going to watch a stupid movie. It's going to be stupid funny. Like I get that, so I'm not expecting deep plot, a really congruent story.
Step
like
Brothers
I just want
is
to
the
see.
pinnacle of the Will Ferrell archive.
Hey,
Step Brothers is
I'm just going in to see something stupid with Will Ferrell, and for a
Don't
Christmas
forget Night of
movie,
the Roxbury.
my kids enjoy it, so I've seen it a bunch of times. It's a fun movie. Huh?
Here's my thing. I do like Will Ferrell movies. I do. I love him on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
Elf I have seen probably 3 or 4 times, and that is where I determined why I don't like that movie and why this is the formula. If Will Ferrell is by himself, he doesn't have a buddy like in the other guys, like in Step Brothers, like in Talladega Nights. If he doesn't have a few people or a person to play off of, it gets very old very quick for me, and I just have to walk away. So
I can see that.
You get it, Chris. You hate Will Ferrell. We got it.
I can see-
Hey, Will Ferrell.
I can see that.
President of the hate. I hate Will Ferrell.
No,
We got it,
you're
Chris.
not
We
gonna
got
put
it.
that on me. Other Guys is probably one of my favorite comedy movies of all time.
Yeah, that is a great movie. All right. So I guess we'll just go.
Get stuff on me, Bobby.
Everybody got one more you want to throw out?
I
Or a
got
couple more? I don't care.
I got one.
This is fun just talking about Christmas movies. Good.
The Grinch.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Of course.
The Grinch.
Of course.
Animated, the old one, like the Dr. Seuss, like old animated one, and then like even the new one.
With Jim
My
Carrey.
kids love this. I
Jim
have to
Carrey?
read this book
Was it Jim Carrey? Wasn't Jim Carrey that played
Yeah,
it?
and that one too. That one
The
too.
musical.
Like, my kids love it
Stop
all.
it.
They love it all.
All
So,
right.
and I have to read that book 1,000 times around Christmas, and sometimes even.
Well, geez, your kids can't read or what? Nah, I'm just kidding.
You wait until your own kid can start reading that book, and you're sitting back going, "How can you read this?"
Sarah, you have no idea. I refuse to read as a child, so I get it.
Oh, my kids, it's crazy because it's like the things that they read now, it just blows my mind. I'm like, okay, you can read that now? Okay, that's cool.
Oh.
But some things I'm like, I still want to read to you because you guys read too slow. It's like, y'all got to go to bed. It's time to go to bed.
I hear that.
Yeah, The Grinch is an absolute,
Classic.
absolute
Classic.
Yeah.
100% agree.
Mhm. Chris?
All right, this definitely is next to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, probably my number one. And spoiler alert, this is what Miss Katie and I will be talking about on Slice of Film that will release Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, one of the two. And this will be Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes! That's
Great
a
call.
good one.
I was excited when I heard about that. I was like,
A nice update to Christmas Carol, but there were so many great one-liners that Bill Murray delivers in that. And then at the end speech that he gives always tugs at my heart.
No.
Always just tugs at my heart.
Has Katie seen that one before?
She didn't say yes or no. I'm assuming no most of the time, since that's usually
Yeah. Okay.
usually how it goes.
Since it's
But,
before her time.
yeah,
All
we'll
right.
record it the Monday of the week of Christmas, and I think her plan is to hopefully drop it Christmas Eve.
Awesome.
that'd be
That'd
awesome.
be awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Great way to ring in
Nice.
Christmas. I like it. Nathan?
This should be no surprise to anybody, as I was just stating the movies I watched over and over again. But fucking Batman Returns. Come on, man! Like that is all about that. Is the Christmas movie. I watched that movie 100,000 times as a kid. Like, yep, it's got to be Batman Returns. It's got to be. If it's not that, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. But like I said, I can do that with Halloween too. But like,
Yeah.
come on, man! It's Batman. It's Batman. It's snow. It's Christmas trees. Like I'm there. Let's go.
Yeah, that's my number one too. I was saving it for last. I was like, I can't believe nobody said Batman Returns yet, but I don't know if I was saving that one for last. But yeah, Batman Returns, man. I mean, one of my favorite Batman movies. You know, Michelle Pfeiffer. You know, Danny DeVito.
yeah.
It's just a great movie, man. Like, loved it as a kid. Always a great Christmas movie. So loved it.
I do have one honorable mention though.
Do it.
Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Yes, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Kids have just discovered that this week.
That's always been a fun one. Yes, that's always been a fun
Christmas
one.
Carol.
So.
Okay.
Well, to add to that, Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now I'm sitting here trying to think of Christmas
Charlie
movies.
Brown Christmas tree. You can't ever forget that.
Yeah.
I have that. It is one of our decorations.
There you go.
What about like the? Well, I guess it's not a movie, so we won't count that. I was gonna say like the '90s half-hour turtle special that they did for like the little for Christmas, or like the Power Ranger holiday special that they did in the '90s stuff.
I'll allow it.
We count
Yeah.
them. They're not movies.
Okay, throw the Star Wars holiday special.
Oh, that's the crown jewel right there. That is the pinnacle
Happy
of
Life
holiday
Day.
films.
I've got to find that because I still have yet to see that. So
You too.
no.
It'll come up eventually. Like I said, I'm in that time of year. I haven't put it on yet, but I usually seem. And I know I said earlier, like I'm not the oldest kid that I watch, but I usually seem to come across that one every year. I just throw it on.
I mean, I knew of it. It's just I
Fungus.
haven't had an opportunity to see it. So.
Like a fungus.
Well, all right, y'all. Y'all got any more movies you want to throw out there? This was just fun to talk Christmas movies. You know, it's always a good time.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, there you go. There's our. I guess that would be 20 movies we put out there, or close to it. 'Cause we had some repeats.
But I mean, you can't really bring it down to
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
There's so many out there. It just
Exactly.
depends
And
on
Christmas movies are just fun to watch. It is hard to pick a favorite. Well, I guess it's not hard to pick a favorite. For me, it's hard to pick like what's my favorites after that. Like I can tell you my probably 1 and 2, and then after that, just kind of like, man, I could watch any of these. You know. So.
And I'll tell you, here's another one that nostalgia missed out on me because this was not part of our movie rotation, and none of you all said it, and I was waiting for it. A Christmas Story. That missed me. I did not see that. I know it's been on. It always is at 24 hours. The only time I'd first seen it was like when Erin and I were first dating. That was her movie because that's what she grew up kind of watching. When we finally sat down and watched it, I was like, does nothing for me. And then,
and I kind of feel like that too.
Yeah.
It's just like
okay, good. I'm not alone. But then like before COVID, we would see plays that would come through Charlotte, and apparently they thought it was such a good movie. They turned it into a musical. Was probably by far one of the worst musicals I'd ever seen. We actually walked out of we didn't even stay to the end because it was just that bad.
Yeah.
I just think there's too many more good ones out there. I mean, that one is kind of.
But that was a lot of people's first and favorite. That's
I know.
Yeah.
That one is definitely a classic, and it's good. It's a good movie. The problem is I've seen it it's not a good enough movie to see it as many times as I've seen it, and it's irritating that like certain television stations when I was growing up would play it 24 hours a day, and I get it. You're probably just giving your crew a day off. Just have it on autoplay, just to hit play this all day long.
I think it's just too I don't know. It was just I don't know. It was just.
We talked about nostalgia. Just made that.
Yeah.
So I never. So it's kind of like what you, Greg, when you've seen other movies that you didn't see as a kid. Like I saw that when I was an adult and did absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah. I'm kind of at the point right now where like I thought about it, and I was like, oh, that should definitely be on somebody's top Christmas list. But I was like, I really don't even want to watch it. Like I have no desire to go watch that movie. I've seen it so many times. There's nothing. I don't know. Just Christmas Story. I get it. I can't believe nobody said it either, to be honest with you. So, I can't believe Sarah didn't say something like "Just Friends." With
no, she's gone. Move on. Ad break.
We're still talking about it. All right. Yeah, we do need to do that. Let's go ahead and take an ad break, folks. Like we said before, we are a ad-supported network, so just bear with us for 30 seconds. Turn the volume down. It can get a little loud. We don't pick the ads. We just pick the spots, and we'll be right back.
Ad, lawyer ad, food.
Right.
Wear your mask.
All right. And we're back. So, we've really only got one big topic to talk about tonight, but it's a big topic. It's got a whole lot of stuff with it.
Big, ginormous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like saying I got one meal today, but you're not telling them it's your Thanksgiving or there's like 1,000 things there today.
That's a good way to put it. But basically, Disney had their investor meeting yesterday, and they kind of went over everything they were going to be doing for the next few years, laid out a plan. made me want to buy stock in Disney. As a matter of fact, I did, and it rose quite a bit in the one day, which is awesome. With the parks aren't even open, it rose, so it'll be fun to see what happens with that. But anyway, announced a whole lot of stuff, man. And Chris, Marvel Alliance did an emergency show last night where they covered the Marvel stuff that happened on it, went over the trailers, all the news. It's really awesome. Y'all go check it out. We're going to talk a little bit about that stuff tonight, but if you really want to deep dive into it, go check out that podcast because they had a really fun time doing it. It was a really awesome show. But yeah, so they had a whole lot of Marvel news. They had a whole lot of Star Wars news. Disney really, really put a lot of stuff out there. Like, it's so much stuff to take in. I haven't even seen all of it yet. I've just seen headlines and read a little bit of what I can about certain things and what I've heard in podcasts about it. But I'm sure there's still so much more to learn about it. But let's start with the Marvel, because there was really only, well, I think there was a little bit less Marvel than Star Wars news, or was it?
You just pick somewhere you want to start, and we'll follow into the rest of it. You just name a topic. We'll follow.
I want to talk about Loki. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, let's start with Marvel then, and let's start with Loki. Let's do it.
That's what I'm excited about.
I like it.
That's what I'm excited about. And when I was in the chat room for the Marvel Alliance, I was just like, I was just all over the place. Because number one, it was Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, the What If, all that kind of stuff. That was what was announced. When was that, Chris? Announced way back when? Yeah. Because that was some of the new stuff that was announced. Yeah, so now for it to finally come out after, all the COVID pushing things back and whatever was going on, to finally get those confirmations and see those trailers and actually see something, I'm excited. I
think that was the biggest shock with Loki, because not only did we see a trailer, which none of us were expecting, we didn't expect it to come out next year. We did. That was a big shock that we did not think that was going to be not only coming out next year, but will be coming out after Falcon Winter Soldier. That's going to be
May
sometime
2021.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know why it is, but that's the one I'm super excited about, because honestly, when Infinity War, when it first started, it took me 3 times to watch Infinity War and not let my eyes sweat, because Loki has, for the longest time, he's just one of my favorite characters, even though he is Loki. So, seeing him, what happened to him, and I'm just like, I can't deal with that. But now to see where you're taking that new timeline and you're like, he lives. Even my son's like, he's not dead. I'm like, I know he's not, because he's like his new little thing, took the Tesseract and, whatever. So,
sure.
And Chris, what you were saying on Marvel Alliance, especially like the DB Cooper scene, that's exactly what I thought of, when he was in that plane. That's the exact thing I thought of. So it looks like it's going to be shaping up to be a really interesting series. So I'm really excited about that one. I just want more of Tom Hiddleston, not just love him.
Nathan.
Okay, that's my 2 cents.
Time Vergence Authority or whatever. Very cool. Time. Yeah. What did I say? Whatever the fuck. Same thing. But it's still I find it very interesting that is straight up what's happening, and they said it's going to be a thriller, and it's obviously in time. And I also find it interesting, which we'll talk about later, that the Lord of Time has been officially coming to another movie franchise, the Master of Time, Kang the Conqueror. So I just find it really, you know what I mean? We're shaping up to be it almost looks like they've got 2 lines going. You know what I mean? From where we left off at Endgame, it almost like we're going, bam, we're splitting. And we got Loki, which at first I thought was going to be, multiversal or whatever, but it looks like it's going to be time, and it's going to weave through with what Ant-Man's coming through and probably something else. And then we've got this other side that's going, oh shit, hey, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Wanda, all this crazy cosmic multiverse stuff. And then actually there's a third line of where the street level guys are kind of doing their own thing down here and gonna have to stop an invasion, wink wink, we'll get there when we get there. But man, there's the MCU is coming out of this, and And I have faith in Feige to be able to tie it all together, but like Loki, I was always like, what the hell is this going to be? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? And after seeing the trailer and seeing, Mr. Wow for myself, like, it looks it looks pretty damn good, and I'm pretty interested.
Right.
And he name checks his brother in Heimdall, so or Heimdall or whatever. So it'll be, I don't know. I'm just curious. We're gonna get at least one wow. Just a couple wow. At least one wow is gonna be in there. You don't get almost. I think it's in his contract. You will get at least a wow.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just watched this trailer, like I said, about an hour before we even got on the show for the first time. Really impressed with it. I like Loki as a character as well. I like how they tied it into the in-game scene to start the trailer out, because that was one thing in in-game I always wondered was, are you ever going to get an answer to that question? Which is really cool. I find it, and I had something I wanted to say. It was right on the tip of my tongue. It was about what Nathan was saying and made a very, very good point, but now I can't remember it.
So like the multiverse or like timelines or...
No, I can't remember now. Not going
It'll
to.
come back.
It'll come back to me eventually. Wait till we
It'll
finish that.
come back.
But I'm really excited for this this show. Didn't really.
And here's the thing too. One thing, it has been supposedly already greenlit for season 2. That's how confident they are.
I heard you guys say that. That's crazy. I mean, you really haven't even seen the... What's wrong, Nathan?
Depending on where they go with it, like how many stories are we gonna tell with this evil Loki? Like I get it. I like Loki, but I really did feel like his death was kind of like it meant something to Thor. Like they were finally on that good path. Like, he's like, with the sun will shine on us again one day, and looks right at him and says, brother, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever that line is. But like, man, I love Loki. I love him. But that was the perfect way to let that character go out. And now it kind of seems like, no. We're going to go back to that evil 2012 version. Like, let's go play. Like I said, I'm intrigued. The trailer looks good.
Well, the thing is, like, he has been basically hired in a way by the TVA to go through time, kind of like and it's very much an idea similar to like Legends of Tomorrow, but going through time. I mean, there are a ton of Easter eggs in this whole thing, in this whole trailer to pick up. Like you can bring. That's probably one of the biggest. That's probably the trailer that you could literally pause at different sequences and see. Oh my gosh, they're dealing with this. Oh, what's this person doing there? What's this? What's going on here? So, I think this is going to be a very. They're leaning hard, like with almost every one of these shows that it comes out of left field. They're leaning hard into left field, saying, "Yeah, we've done the standard superhero trope, and we've kind of dabbled in Guardians, things like that. We're not afraid to get weird."
Do you think that at some point they're going to kind of tie in all of these shows?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying, because it's like, with the MCU, it was like you had these standalone movies, but yet you had but everything just tied in together. So
I think Nathan had a good point when he said, you've got 2 or 3 different kind of strands going, and I think that's good that they are doing that. But I think at some point, little elements of there may be like 1 or 2 that are going to be the big strands, but some of the other ones are going to be like pieces of the whole.
Right. And
so
that reminds me of what I was going to say. I remember it. Nathan was talking about him tying those together, and it's like, I think about it like this: is when this first started, it wasn't planned to be what it was, so they say, and they tied it all together pretty well. Now they have an established world, and they have a plan to tie this together. I think they're going to do just fine. Like, I have full confidence they're going to tie everything together. I had questions at the end of Endgame that I don't think that I'm going to have questions going forward. I think they know, okay, this is stuff we have to address. And I don't think they're going to miss those steps.
You're taking it from the big screen to kind of like the small screen. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a continuation of the MCU, but we're going different directions with different characters. So
we almost have our, not necessarily phase 4, but our next Thanos level event laid out in front of us, or the beginning pieces. And not so much with with the multiverse. I don't think it's not so much with the multiverse. I don't think that's a part of the pieces, but
I would beg to differ.
Well, it could be, but unless they're gonna suck Galactus through a fucking portal or bring him in from another time or something, I'm not saying it can't be, but I see the multiverse stuff being like for your Spider-Man going through on that. Yeah, cool, it's gonna be there. I'm thinking your next phase, whatever Thanos level event is, they have. Okay, I think Kang is gonna be a stepping stone to where the Avengers have, because we know Kang, he's formidable, he's an Avengers level thing. I don't think he'll be the overall. But with that Fury show, Secret Invasion, as you guys all said, that is entirely too big of a storyline to just be relegated to 6 episodes or 8 episodes in a just a Nick Fury show. I think that leads in Secret Invasion leads to Secret Wars or the Kree-Skrull War, and I think that is what this whole fucking next cosmic level event, our next Thanos level event, is Kree-Skrull War, and I think all this ties in now. I think Kang is a stepping stone, almost like you had Loki, Ultron, and then they just fought themselves, and then you got the Thanos. Well, I think Kang's going to be one of those stepping stones where they bring people together, they get hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's how we're building. In my opinion, I think they literally laid us the groundwork to be like, the pieces are here. You guys just have to put the puzzle together. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I in my sense of how much we've got basically 3 movies that deal with the multiverse in a way. WandaVision starts that. Spider-Man will continue that, build it bigger, because we got a confirmation yesterday that Spider-Man 3 will directly tie into the events that will lead to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So we've got basically 3 properties that are in some way, shape, or form aligned with each other, that's leading to basically this huge, big thing that's going on in Doctor Strange 2. So in some way, I think, and I've heard a lot of interesting theories. I even do this as a factor of fiction that this would be very interesting and this would be their quote unquote almost crisis level event. Another crisis level event is Secret Wars. The kind of the unification of all this kind of chaos at that point. But again, that's a very big kind of, we're going to have to take elements of like what the MCU is good at, taking elements of storylines and then adapting it in a way, because in no way, shape, or in some ways not, but like the whole idea of the Infinity Gauntlet was just they took a big idea and a character and an idea and then took it, because most of it's just not in there. But
right.
I did see comments online, and I think, again, I've said this a lot the past couple of weeks when it comes to saying apples versus oranges, is people are saying, oh my gosh, Marvel just really came after in the sense of DC and got all these properties. Man, DC's really scrambling. I said, here's the thing. Warner Brothers, AT&T are still getting their IPs in line and trying to get the properties all put on and trying to figure out like where the pieces are going to lie. Remember, Marvel has now gone through 23 movies, and have had time to hone in. And remember, they didn't even have all the pieces until recently, and they still are missing one big piece to fully own Spider-Man at that point. But that's going to come way later when Sony gets sold off and the rights will eventually come back, because Disney has no reason to buy them out, no purpose. I just want them to keep the deal around so that they can keep working together.
Right.
But again, this is a whole different situation. Marvel versus DC. DC is doing, Warner Brothers are doing what they're doing with property. But to say that, man, DC's fallen really behind, they are playing catch up. But I say that it's a different way and a different kind of what they're doing and how they're going to be doing it. So I think it's an unfair comparison to say that Marvel's kicking DC's butt in that thing. Again, when you're already like going in a 5K race and they've already got like a 2-mile head start on you, it's going to take some time.
Kind of hard to catch up.
They'll get there. They will. It's going to be different, and that's what I want. I don't want DC to be Marvel. Right. I want 2 different things. So guess what? I can have my cake and eat it too.
There you go. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to say about Loki? I mean, we can just talk about all the Marvel stuff right here. I mean, sure. I think for me, honestly, I watched all these trailers when I got home. I was already excited about Falcon and Winter Soldier, the idea of it.
Yeah.
and the trailer really impressed me. But the one that impressed me the most, that I'm the most excited, I'm not most excited for, but I wasn't excited for it, was the What If. Like the concept of the What If, really caught my attention, but I didn't know how they were going to handle it. I love the animation. The trailer looked awesome. It's definitely something that I want to watch, and I can't wait to cover that possibly on an animated show a show about animated stuff that we talk about. So.
It'll
be fun. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. I thought it was really cool, and I can't wait to see what's going on. You know, that T'Challa as Star-Lord, like you got to see the evil Doctor Stranges, the two Doctor Stranges, like everything about it looked really cool. It almost was like a stop motion comic style art, and I like that.
It was interesting. Yes, it was beautiful.
I really hope they keep that series going. I think that's going to be a really cool thing for them as an anthology, just to do the concept like, what if one thing happened, one change. Sure. It was a great series. I mean, it was basically kind of a what if, but I loved it. It was called Bullet Points. It was one event that changed the entire history of the. Bullet point was, what if the bullet had, that was taking out in Captain America, the scientist that created the super soldier serum was killed. All right. What if he was killed before the super serum was developed? What would that do to the Marvel universe? It was like a 5-issue series looking at that idea of what would change, how would it change. So
pretty interesting, yeah.
So that's the whole concept of what if, period. I mean, it's always, if you change one thing, one minute thing, it might not be like a complete butterfly effect, but it could be like a different timeline. It's just, like I said, it was because that was the one thing that Brian was watching. He was watching the what if, because I saw it, but I didn't really watch the trailer or whatnot, because I remember seeing the what if the Agent Carter had taken it versus Steve Rogers. But he was the one telling me about T'Challa, and if Yondu took T'Challa versus taking Peter Quill and that kind of thing, and I'm like, wow, that is kind of a just one minute thing. It's just one character, but it would probably still be kind of like the same thing. But yeah, that's really cool, and I love that it's animated. That's what's so cool about it, because you can really take off with all of it. I mean, it's kind of like a what if infinity.
I've fallen in love with animation in the last year and a half. Thanks, Nathan. So,
yes, absolutely.
Myself, what if? I'm a huge animation fan and all that. Like, I'm gonna watch it, but like, I expected to like rage out, yes, but like I saw it and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna check it out. Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I knew I was gonna like that when it was always my most anticipated. But hot damn, like the chemistry between Sam and Bucky is still perfect. Where they're just like, there's really animosity, but they get along great and stuff. How about Falcon just going out there just looking like a beast, doing that, basically a dogfight with that helicopter and that canyon run, or whatever. Like, hell yes. Yeah. It looks really good, and they're only showing us little tastes and teases of it. Like I said, I'm really pumped. I like Falcon's new wings. I can't believe you guys can talk about that on Marvel, and I know it's like a big, like not much, but like I like that it's got like a little feather look on it now, like blade. I don't know. I like the wings on it.
But to Snell's point, what's the deal with Bucky cutting his hair? Why's he got to cut his hair? Why's he got to cut his hair? Why?
Gotta keep it fresh. Gotta keep it
fresh. No, I like the long hair.
Don't encourage that man in his hair.
You didn't say anything about Tom Hiddleston cutting his hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I think he's going back and forth. He's going back because,
No.
WandaVision, I don't even know what to think about. Like that, it is going to be so weird, and like I'm sure I'm going to end up like. But man, like, what in the absolute shit show is going on in that? Like,
how about that one?
I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to take black and white and 60s shit, but like, and I'm sure they're gonna make it. But like, I know I'm gonna watch it. But like, if we spend like, if it's 8 episodes and we spend 6 episodes jumping through different sitcom eras, and it's all hijinks and killywops going on, or whatever little cutesy term you want to use. I'm like, all right, guys, let's get some story. I have faith, but I'm gonna need little like real bits of bullshit sprinkled in for me. Or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It looks great. It looks great, but it just
the one part that got
like
me,
Snell said, it's gonna be weird as shit.
Mm-hmm.
The one part that got me was seeing her looking like she's with the stone, with the mind. Was it the Mind Stone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one scene, right? Because you what we've seen before has always been, like kind of like the sitcom thing. But to me, I think this is probably like the first like real scene, because maybe that's like the very beginning where she's pulling this all together, and that's where all this is created. I don't know, that for some reason that scene just really resonated with me.
Yeah.
And Chris, I know you guys kind of talked about that, like maybe she was like reconstructing the stone, that kind of thing. But it was just like the look in her eyes, that once when you guys like stopped like right there, it was just that really resonated with me. So I'm thinking I want to know more about that particular part, and maybe that's the beginning, where how she creates her bubble or whatnot. So I think that kind of gave a little more depth into the show and what may be happening. So I'm a little more excited about it now.
I have a fear that I'm going to go into this the way I did like Doom Patrol season 1, but a little bit differently. And I feel like I have a fear that I'm going to like where the story ends and like the key points in the story and like to hear the story, but I don't want to watch the show to get that story. I just want to hear the story, and that's kind of the way I felt about Doom Patrol season 1. After I rewatched it, I liked it a little more.
That's a feasible argument.
I think the only reason I feel like that is because I'm confused by the trailer. And that could be what it is. It's like I'm confused about what I'm looking at. I don't understand what's going on, which is fine. It makes me want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of trying to hold my judgment on WandaVision until I see it, because I feel like it's one of the things that I could really like. But I may just like, it was okay. I like where the story ended up, but it was okay. I'm just so confused about what they've shown me so far. Certain stuff looks awesome, certain stuff, but I don't know. I can't put anything together, so...
I think that's the whole point. Maybe
that is the whole point. You're absolutely right.
Trying to pull you in.
So that's what makes me fearful about it. You could
have an expectation it could be something totally different.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah. And I kind of feel like the same way you do. I want to be surprised. I want to be, I want to be immersed in her world, but but I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be like,
it might be one of the first ones you can just kind of skip. Now, I'm not saying that you will want to, and they might have some groundbreaking, universe-shattering stuff in there. But with everything that's coming, we definitely know there's going to be opportunities and areas where people are going to actually start making the choice to skip, because I have a feeling, just with as much content and stuff that's going to come out, somebody might be like, that particular show's not for me, moving on, into the next thing.
And that's the advantage of having multiple shows, I suppose.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't like this one, they may like this one, type deal. So, I want to go back to Winter Soldier real quick, because I didn't get a chance to talk about that. Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, looks awesome. You're right, man. Looks really, really cool. Winter Soldier's my favorite MCU movie, and this trailer felt like kind of watching scenes from that. The action looked awesome. This looks like it's going to be a spy kind of thriller type deal. Like I'm just totally in love with this concept, and I'm excited to see this series. I wasn't as excited for it because I hadn't seen anything on it, but I knew that I was going to like it. Like I knew it was something I was going to like, but I just, until I'd seen something, I wasn't really going to get overly excited for it. But this trailer looks really good, and they basically said it's kind of like a 6-hour movie, right?
Yeah,
basically, that was really cool for him to say that.
Yeah,
Flag Dogs
jumped up into parts.
That's an awesome idea. I love the idea. I personally would watch a 6-hour movie. I don't know if I go to a theater and watch a 6-hour movie.
Yeah, you might end up watching a 4-hour movie pretty soon next year.
Exactly.
Not might. I will end up watching a 4-hour movie next year. Yeah, so I love the idea. It sounds cool, and I'm ready for it.
I'm just excited. Like I said, we actually started seeing stuff, because we've been teased with this, Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki and, all this kind of stuff. We've been teased with it for so long, because when the Disney Plus came, first was announced, not just The Mandalorian, but these shows were announced as well. So now that we've finally seen, okay, we're gonna see them. You know, I'm like, because like what we're gonna almost. God, how long has Disney Plus been around? A year? Going on 2 years?
People are starting to resubscribe.
So, I mean, that's...
are they? How about they're just charging your account without even sending a fucking email?
Yeah, they don't have to read those terms and conditions.
I know!
In November, I renewed November for, this upcoming year, so... I'm just excited.
Chris.
I'm not saying it's not common courtesy. I have the same complaint, but guess what?
I'm taking it out on you.
Nathan,
everyone else does.
Would you have stopped your subscription had they not renewed it?
No. But
so basically, you're pulling a Chris. You're pulling a Chris Nolan right now.
COVID. No.
You're pulling a Chris Nolan right now. You're complaining about something that doesn't matter in the end.
And instead of taking the 70 at once, maybe I needed to go for the $8 route for just this month because maybe I didn't have $70 this month to pay that out. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know there were two routes. I didn't know
maybe I need $8 this month and next month, and then after that I can go back to charge me the rest of the year. Like it's Christmas time, COVID, people lost jobs. I'm just saying this is a shitstorm 2020, guys. Just saying, the common courtesy email, Disney. You know what I'm saying? If you need a PR person, hit me up. I got you. I'll show you. I can. We'll do this.
Oh man, I've got a great. I got to write that down. Common courtesy, Disney. I think that's a great argument point for something for later. Yeah, a great debate point for something for later.
All right, Greg setting up arguments.
I'm always setting up arguments, dude. Debates, sir. I like to debate. I don't like to argue. I like to debate.
So, Chris, I don't know if I missed the whole point because I had to jump off to get kids to bed, so I didn't hear the whole Marvel Alliance. I apologize, but the She-Hulk. What else was said about that? I remember seeing something about Hulk and Abomination and.
It's gonna be a yuck show.
And I guess the actress was actually confirmed.
Yes, Tatiana Maslany is confirmed despite her denial, and there was only one denial, and that was it. But yeah, she's confirmed that it's going to be a
denial, and it's in Egypt, right? It's into Egypt. Denial.
Yeah. Because I'm looking forward to She-Hulk. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's.
And it's good. If you ever read the comics, it's not necessarily a laugh-out-loud book, but it's a more light-hearted story at that point. But they did drop some ideas that the big surprise was Tim Roth would be returning as his role as the Abomination. Mm-hmm. Bruce Banner, played by Mark Ruffalo, would be appearing in the show, and Feige did say any episode you might see some other Marvel characters at that point, and
they drop a date on that one.
No, it's no date on that one. My guess that's a 2022 show. Very easily a 2022 show. I think the idea they start filming very early next year. But it's going to be it's going to be interesting. We don't know how long Mark Ruffalo is going to be in the show with this idea of other Marvel characters dropping in. Travis and I have talked about we always say we trust in Feige at that point. It could have the idea of are the guest appearance and the other appearances are going to overshadow, She-Hulk.
The overall story.
The overall story, which I don't think it will, but I would love if we get a devil coming to the courtroom in that. That would be very cool if we get to see Matt Murdock. That would be a perfect way. We don't have to see Daredevil. It would be cool. But Matt Murdock could very easily find his way into a courtroom that Walter is arguing. And it's a cool show from the character in the sense like this is, unlike until Endgame, you get a character that basically rages out and can't control, what it is.
She's a little more...
Instead of you have Jennifer Walters, who is very smart, very intelligent, cousin to Bruce Banner, and she's a lawyer that lacks confidence. When she when she quote unquote hulks out, she gains that confidence. She keeps her intelligence. She found the balance at that point, and you'll see her more often than not staying in She-Hulk form than it is Jennifer Walters. So
that's what I'm interested in.
And like I said it before, I said it again. I love Tatiana Maslany. I love her as an actress, Orphan Black, Perry Mason.
Yeah.
Like this is another show that's going to propel her even further out there. So
Well, I'm just curious how they're gonna show her as Hope.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna be interesting to me.
I agree. So, but yeah, that's that. Yeah, I think that's a 2022 show.
Yeah.
Was there anything else on Marvel you wanted to cover? They talked about.
Yes. I would like to have a public rebuttal to the dicks, Mr. Snail and Mr. Brent, who Snail was talking about Don Cheadle and Armor Wars coming out, and he goes, "I can hear Nathan rolling his eyes now, being like, oh, I'll connect to Tony Stark." I'll have dicks, that the War Machine and stuff being tied to Tony Stark makes perfect sense, as they were best friends. He literally gave him the suit and kind of entrusted him head coach to his thing. Yeah, it all makes sense. So F you guys, you know what I'm saying? No, it was all good. I was laughing as soon as I heard it because I was bro.
He took extra time to text that to me, and he said, "Send this to them." And I did. They had no response. I think they just plain old ignored you.
Hey,
yes, they did. They hated me.
What was the gift that was sitting in the chat earlier where it was Iron Man read through the phone and he was like, "Oh, he just created so and so." It was the villain.
He created Dr. Doom.
Yeah, he created, Iron Man created Dr. Doom and had the scene of him throwing the phone. That's so awesome. So funny. Oh, man. But, yeah, Marvel really, really came big. And it was funny because they were the last ones, right?
Yeah, they were the last ones. Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes,
what was that?
yes,
I missed that part. I saw I saw it on
Nick
Twitter.
Fury being Secret Invasion? What the fuck? Yeah, they got some stuff coming.
Fantastic Four has a director, John Watts, the man who has been shepherding our home series with Spider-Man, including the one that is filming right now, has been given the keys to finally, hopefully, unlocking the problem of creating a awesome Fantastic Four movie.
Yes, ready to see
Do
it.
you have a timeline for that one yet?
Nope, no date at all.
Hey,
We have
It's
a
just an
director.
announcement of it's in thought process.
Yep,
Development,
director
at least in
and-
development.
in development.
Yes.
So pretty soon, hopefully sometime next year, we'll start hearing some ideas of who's our screenwriters. I doubt. I don't know if they've gotten to the point of where I think they maybe have ideas of who they're looking for, but I don't think they probably preliminary ideas of searching for who our first family of Marvel is going to be.
Sure.
Right.
Hey, you know what? Confession here. I didn't mind any of the previous Fantastic Four movies. The ones that came out as the first one, the sequel, weren't bad.
Yeah.
They weren't great, but they weren't bad. And the reboot with Michael B. Jordan, I didn't mind that movie at all. I thought it wasn't bad.
I ain't gonna lie, I did.
I'm staying away from it.
Greg,
It upsets me.
I almost walked out of the theater. No. Fan Four Stick had great buildup. They had great buildup, and then there was literally nothing. The fight took 45 seconds, and then it was all solid. The buildup and the fan, they were building up something great, and they got you right on the edge, and then they just shut it down.
Well, I don't care what you say.
Go home.
The first one's young Gruffudd as Mr. Fantastic. I love him, which I love him. Period. Period.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, you
And I thought he was fantastic.
But
I even like. I liked the Silver Surfer in number 2. I just didn't like how Galactus was a giant cloud. And,
Well, the Silver Surfer is
shit,
Doug Jones, which is Saru in Discovery, and he was in what was all the other stuff? He's always been all lanky guy. Well, I mean, he is. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just fantastic.
This is going to be interesting, as I said on Marvel Alliance, that, and we've all said it so many different times, it's very, I'm not saying it's sad, but it's disappointing that the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever had is the Incredibles.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. Yeah.
So this is a challenge because no one has been, like you said, Greg. I don't mind the two ones from the Fox era. I just have not wanted to bring myself to watch the one with Michael B. Jordan because it's just it'll happen one day. It's on Disney Plus now, so I really don't have an excuse, but I just really have to get in the mood for, am I ready to blow 2 hours and not go, and again, if my expectations are so low, I may end up like you. It's not that awful before, but they have to get this right. This is not like a Guardians where no one knows who they are and you got nothing to lose. This one has had disappointment after disappointment.
Well, it's like the first two. It's like you had like little bits and pieces. If you had like tweaked it this way or that way, it may have worked.
Yeah. So it's, you have to find a way that this is. There's a reason they're the first family of Marvel. There's a reason that there has to be. This is going to be a mix between funny, jovial kind of family that has to get serious at points, and you can't make it a parody of itself, because I think that's what the Fox movies became. They were kind of a parody of themselves at one point, and so the fact that John Watts has proven that he can handle and is about to handle probably one of the biggest endeavors of Spider-Man franchise, assembling what, if all rumors are true, that just like the Russos were given the keys, he may be our new Russo brothers, that he's going to cross franchises and usher in a new positive Fantastic Four. So fingers crossed.
Well, one question.
You think they'll have a Doctor Doom?
What's that?
That was going to be a question.
Have a Doctor Doom?
So I didn't hear it. Sorry.
I said, do you think they have Doctor Doom?
That's the standard, in the sense I think Travis and I have gone back and forth. Travis and I have gone back and forth with this, whether Doom. I've even had Factor Fiction. One of my last Factor Fictions was saying it was not going to be Doom. Will be in the movie, but it won't be Doom as the villain. It'll be like a Nihilus, like that. Which again, that's a very comic idea.
In Subterranea.
But I think the expectation is Doom. I'm fine if Doom is the villain in it. I will.
They do him right. They do him right.
And I think and I love the fan casting of Giancarlo Esposito as our Doctor Doom. I absolutely love that idea.
Ooh, turn it up.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll take that.
That is pretty awesome.
I'll take two of that. Let's go.
That was actually going to be my next question.
Vader Light in Mandalorian, so I'll definitely. He's a great villain, but he's good as Vader Light. So I'll definitely take him.
He said he's
on over
ready
in the other place.
I mean, he's already in the Disney family. He has said he is ready to be part of the Marvel family as well. So he is. Definitely...
Can you hear that voice?
Yes.
That voice and those commanding eyes and stuff. Those face. Yes.
And that was actually my next question.
None shall lay hands on Doom.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was, do you guys have a choice for either Mr. Fantastic or Doom? I got it's an awesome casting for Doom. Do you got a choice for?
Okay, I don't have a choice, but for all the whining and complaining and the nonsense in 2014 about Michael B. Jordan, I better just say, hold on to your asses, guys, because if you think you're getting 4 white people on screen to be this family, you are so fucking high. So you better get ready to be used to it. Like, there's going to be, and that's fine. Like I said, if that was your biggest problem with Fan 4 Stick was because Michael B. Jordan, who was a fucking delight in that movie, the way.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was going to say, so just
sexiest man alive, apparently, right now.
Get your whining out. I was going to say, so I'm just saying, guys, like, they made the announcement. You just get right with it now, because you're not good. Just get that shit out of your head. It's not going to be that. I would highly doubt that. And that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Like,
the family aspect. It's the family. I'm just saying, those people that bitched, the people that bitched back then is all I'm saying. Get it out of your system now, because it's coming. Because like you said, all that matters is the family dynamic. If they feel like family.
And what has the MCU done pretty much successfully throughout all their films is the idea of family. And what better way to get that is this film.
Like you said, other than Spider-Man, like you said, the feel like this is the most that it can't feel like a team, it can't feel like a working relationship. This, like you said, they're Marvel's first family for a reason. They have got to be family. Like you said, it's got to feel like even when Johnny and Ben are going at each other, it's got to feel like the brothers that are dicking them with each other, that they look like they're going to kill each other, but you don't mess with your family. You know what I'm saying? You don't mess with your own brother. Like, I'll mess with him all day, but you're not going to touch him or whatever. You know, like you need that. You need Sue. You need Sue to be the leader / like mother. Like it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You got to, and Reed, despite it all, somehow his big old brain holds it all together. I mean, Sue's the heart that holds it together. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just got to, the family dynamic is all that matters. And it's gonna work, and the thing's gonna look great as CGI because I mean they've got that shit perfect.
That's
He's
my
gonna look
thing.
like an orange rock come to life, so that's gonna be awesome.
He's gotta be orange.
I don't think it looked bad in the first Fox movies.
Awesome.
It didn't look bad in the first Fox movies with the prosthetics.
I'm just saying, like,
you know,
the effects are gonna look fucking sweet this time around. Like I said, the flame on is gonna be one of the coolest. I can already see it in my head right now. You know, we hear Johnny flame on, like it's gonna look so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I agree. Look, I don't care. I don't care if it's cliche or if it's just the popular opinion. I think John Krasinski is a great choice for Mr. Fantastic. You don't have to bring Emily Blunt in as Sue Storm, but John Krasinski. Look, I loved him in The Office. I think he's a great actor. He has a lot of range.
He's fantastic.
And after watching him in his
yes, he is.
His Prime
Jack
series,
Jack Ryan.
Dude, he's got it. Like he's definitely got it. So that's my vote for Mr. Fantastic for Reed Richards. Like I really want to see him in that role. I know it's been the biggest fan casting I've heard. So I wonder if whenever it comes time for that happening, if there's any truth to that rumor.
Hey, guess what? Fan casting can work.
Oh yeah.
Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart.
Oh yeah.
No.
And it's been going on for a long time. And he said he's down for it.
Rosario Dawson, cough, Ahsoka
yes,
Tano.
exactly.
It actually does work out sometimes.
I just think he would nail that role, man. I would love to see him on the big screen. I would love to see him either as a DC or a Marvel character, and I think that's the best fit for his role right there.
I almost want to have just some new people. I just almost want to have new blood. Honestly, I mean, I know it's all good and well to bring in big names. But sometimes
I consider him new. What movies is he in? He's not in any movies.
Well, I mean, you know him as The Office. You know him as Jim. I mean, that's kind of you don't want to really hype him, but I mean, he has been in other things as well. I mean, like I said, Jack Ryan, and was it the?
He was in Arrested Development a couple times. I know that.
But what was the movie with his wife? The
one him and his wife wrote and directed.
Quiet or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been in other things too. I mean, but it's almost like if you're gonna kind of not reboot this, but revamp it, maybe bring in some new blood, maybe bring in some new characters.
I agree with you, Sarah, but I think you are right, and I think let's just say you get somebody the caliber of a Giancarlo Esposito as your Doom. There's your headliner, and then you can get 4 people to bring up as. Hey, come here to see John. This guy's gonna be a fucking great villain, and he's playing Doom, so get ready to hold your ass. But hey, at the same time, we got these other people. You know what I mean? You've got to have a hook, just like Jack Nicholson was on the poster of Batman, top villain. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing: it's oh my gosh, Giancarlo again as a villain. It's Doom is a different type of villain. Yeah. He is the definition of the hero of his own story. He sees him as doing the best for his people. It is
he's an anti-hero, that kind of thing.
Well, the two most well-known villain roles, he's not one note. So,
sometimes people just play a great villain. That's just the role they play, John Travolta tried to make that turn mid-career, and it didn't work well. Some people play a good villain.
Broken Arrow and Face Off, he definitely did a very good job.
Broken Arrow was a great movie, I'll give you that. That's a great movie. Yes. Ooh, I want to do on Slice of Film with Katie. Ooh, that's a great movie.
50 films, man. You can do them all.
Yeah. I've got a long list.
But it's just going to depend on the script. It's going to depend on the director. Yeah. It's just going to depend on that. So whomever you bring in, you just have all these pieces that you have to pull together to hopefully turn it to something fantastic.
Yeah.
Tim Rooney be so proud.
Look, Travis says, any Star Wars talk? Yeah, man, hop on the show. We're about to do Star Wars talk right now.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Give me just a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah. Hold off on the Star Wars. Hold on.
Let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's take a break and we'll jump into Star Wars. Come on, Boyer.
Let's
go, Travis.
All right,
let's go.
Cool. Once again, ad supported network. Folks, we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So here's the point. We're going to wait for Sarah to get back, but while we do that, we're going to egg Travis on to come on the show. Come on, buddy. I'll go ahead. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and add him to the call.
Oh shit!
So that way he's
just call him.
Now, if he doesn't come on, he's just ignoring my call.
Yes. I know we might, but some interesting. That was a hell of an event for the Disney investors.
It was.
That was.
It was.
And this is not how investors usually go. Not at all.
Well,
it's usually a phone call.
It's funny because Chris, you said you were like, "Hey, buy some stock in Disney," and you know what? I got online and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna buy some stock in Disney." Bought some stock in Disney. Bam, looking good already. I like it. Good advice, man. Good advice.
And you better sell it better sell it quick too, because that's called the effects of an event, and so that will wear off quick. So sell fast.
That's all right. Quick sell. All I gotta wait is like 4 days, and then they don't consider it a quick sell. So hopefully in 4 days I won't lose that money, but we'll see what happens. But hey, you know what? They haven't even opened the parks up yet, man. Like this stock is gaining without the parks even being open.
Oh no, World is open. Florida's open.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, Florida's open. California, it's just
come on, it's fucking Florida.
So you kidding me?
Where do you think
Florida,
most of the Hoosiers go?
Florida Disney World is open, and my state is on a lockdown where I can't leave my house after 10 o'clock. Are you kidding me?
Do your research
no.
Seriously, just do a little research on Florida.
Have you seen the cases going up in Florida? It's like something crazy.
There's literally a Twitter site you can find that's called Florida Man, and it just talks about all the dumb fucking arrests that people in Florida had. Like there's now, granted, Florida has like where they just release it to everybody, so there's a lot more. You literally hear about every dumb fuck. But you want to talk about some of the most redneck Hoosier fucking yeehaw stories you'll ever hear of some crime and stuff, right out of Florida. Because you know why? Because it doesn't get cold down there, and it's hot all the time, so they can come out. Yeah.
All right, so Travis says Star Wars talks. Yeah, wait on you.
Yeah, we can go Star Wars now. Sorry.
All right, no, you good. Let's go ahead and do some Star Wars. A lot of Star Wars talk as well, which is crazy because they, I don't know what order they went in, but I know Marvel was last. But a ton of Star Wars stuff, and let's just go over some of the shows now, man. And just I'll start at the top. Obi-Wan Kenobi. We've known about this show for a long time. We got some news, though.
That was the main event.
That was the main event. Yeah, Hayden Christensen's going to play Darth Vader in the show. It's not just saying Hayden Christensen is going to be in the show. Hayden Christensen is going to play Darth Vader in this show, which is really cool to hear. Makes me super excited for the show.
Keyword said by Kathleen Kennedy, the rematch of the century.
Oh, I can't wait because that is definitely in my top 2 or 3 lightsaber battles. I gotta go back and check.
I want to pose this question, because our friends at Geekverse asked this, put this out there. I was listening to it today, and they looked at the whole investors call as well, but they put forth the idea of, she put that out there. A lot of us consider Revenge of the Sith, that whole battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin, is as one of the best ones. I know some people like it or don't. I definitely consider it one of my favorite ones. But will that could it possibly kind of change our opinions? Now the only other way we've seen Obi and Vader go after, basically fight is at New Hope. And remember, people were trying to go after the line saying, when I faced you, I was about to learn, and now I am the master. They said, oh, well, that kind of retcon stuff. No, we don't necessarily.
Right.
It's a very easy headcanon to how that works. So
he technically he was a Jedi Knight when they knew each other. And he became a Sith Lord when he became Vader. So he became a master. So, I'm just saying, there really is a difference. There he is.
There you are.
What's up, buddy?
What you got?
That's what's up.
It looks like a textbook.
You're blocked out.
That's what's up.
You're blocked out.
Studying and podcasting.
That's what we're talking about right here.
Like
you see this?
I like it.
I hate it.
But this, like you said, the rematch, and very excited. I'm so glad Hayden Christensen is finally getting the love and respect he deserves. And he's always been great with this stuff. I think it's awesome because Lucasfilm built him a Vader suit for the scene in Revenge of the Sith. So he literally has a suit custom made for his body.
His
and I
body
just want
15
like
years
everybody.
ago. I don't know if he'll fit into it now exactly.
I don't think
They're
we're
not
doing
using-
that.
They're not
Hey,
using
Dad,
15
mod
years
issue. I
ago.
don't think we're doing that.
They're going to use something far more sleek for him to be able
Well,
to fight.
I'm just saying, like, yeah,
Like
you're
Sunday?
right. You're right. But
No, Greg, go and look before Nathan. Sorry, go and look at the Revenge of Sith
Yeah.
stuff. Him and
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor really practiced for that fight. That's them. That's not.
They're not in a Darth Vader suit.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little different there. Good. Nick, sorry.
I just want to get the replacement meme. Like everybody uses the no. Like I just want like from this show, I want a meme with Anakin as Vader to come out of something cool. You know, like where he's just crushing shit or something. Everybody uses that. Yeah, where he just comes in and yes. I'm like I don't know. Let's just redeem the meme.
We're raising hands now.
Well, I just wanted to ask a question to Nathan because I don't know as much about Star Wars.
I can't
Do
see
you-
Travis.
You can?
I don't know why. I can see him.
I can see him.
That's my silly.
It's gotta be your
phone, I
stupid
guess,
iPhone.
huh?
Yeah.
It's gotta
But-
be my stupid iPhone.
Nathan,
Yeah.
do you think we'll see like? I'm pretty sure there's a story of like Darth Vader murdering several Jedi that survived. Like, do you think we could see something like that? Or maybe
I
Obi-Wan
think-
feel it through the Force or something?
I
There might be some
think
flashbacks.
I think there's a good possibility of flashback to the Master and Apprentice timeline of them, but I think Vader is getting too close to Luke, and Obi has to leave Tatooine. I think this is what gets him off. And if you remember in A New Hope, Vader says you should not have returned. It kind of and like he's the first one that's no moon, that's a space station. Like has and he knew his way around there. Like he knew his way around the Death Star. Are we gonna see Ben Kenobi like fight Vader on the Death Star again? Like, are we gonna see his first trip to a Death Star?
I don't think it'll be
You know
Bill.
what I'm saying?
Can I
Kenobi like
point out really quickly, since you mentioned Death Star, reminded me, Thrawn predicts that's going to happen. Thrawn
Shush,
predicts.
I haven't read that yet.
Thrawn,
Quiet.
I'm sorry. Predicts that's going to happen. I was like, oh, he called it. He called it. Like you might miss it because it's very subtle in saying it. You're like, oh, okay, but yeah, he definitely. It's awesome.
I got
Sorry,
that
go ahead.
reference. I
Yeah,
got that reference.
exactly. So I felt. I was like, oh yeah, I heard that.
Well, there's a lot of time I feel like that happens between Revenge of the Sith versus New Hope. So I mean,
I find this interesting. 10 years after, so this is 10. This is right smack dab in the middle of the Dark Times of the Imperial Iron Grip.
Mm-hmm.
I have two other questions,
Sure.
Nathan.
Oh,
Do you think
Okay.
we could see Ahsoka show up
in what?
as first in the Obi-Wan series?
I think they said that.
own.
Yeah, I think they said she has her own show, and I think they said
I know.
they're going to try to
Maybe like a
intertwine those shows.
like a
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, it says it's put both the Mandalorian spin-offs of the Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka are planned to cross over in the future.
Yeah, not with Kenobi.
I don't
But not
think so.
okay, that's a good point.
I don't think she shows up.
I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want it either.
Well,
but
this
I
is
don't
kind of
think
like
she shows up.
after her. So
Well, this is like
No.
is it? No?
This would be in the middle.
No,
But
shit.
if you remember,
She goes
fucking,
off. And he kind of.
Rebels takes Rebels takes you as 5 place before A New Hope. This series is going to take place 10 years. So Ahsoka, Twilight and Apprentice, she did not know Anakin was Vader. She knew what a Vader. Obi-Wan would tell her if she sees a Kenobi, they will talk about Anakin, and that will ruin her entire. Twilight of the Apprentice is one of the best things Disney animation / Lucasfilm period has ever put out. So if they ruin that by having her show up over there and be like, "Hey, yuckity yuck, I've really seen you guys," and then you get to that episode and she goes, I just get it. I forgot all about it. I just get it.
Well,
Like it's gonna ruin that shit.
I just feel like this right here is going to be between Obi-Wan and if Anakin
And
comes
Vader.
in
You
as
don't
Vader,
need it. I
that's
think
going to be
Commander
between them.
Cody-
I don't think it's going to bring anybody else.
Okay.
in.
That's the other thing.
That's the way I feel. I mean,
The other thing is, do you think we could get a flashback of like an episode or something that happened in Clone Wars? But we'll get to
absolutely.
see it. We'll get to see it in live action, sort of
Yes.
like an Easter egg to Clone
you're
Wars fans.
gonna see Hayden Christensen. You're gonna see Anakin's face. I mean, I don't think they would just put him in the Vader helmet for.
But I mean, that's
mean-
how we could see Ahsoka too.
Well, but remember this.
Ooh,
a lot
great
of
point. Great
a lot of
fucking point,
things-
Travis.
a lot of stuff we've heard that the show has been cut back significantly in the sense of how many episodes we've heard. We've heard anywhere between 4 and now 6 episodes. This is a limited series. There is
So it's
no
like a mini series.
Yeah, so there's a very finite amount of time and stuff that they can use. So,
but
even if it's
a lot of time.
If it's 4 to 6 hours, that's as much as I'm getting for Justice League. That's a movie I want to see about Obi-Wan and young Vader.
But that's not what I'm talking about. There is a lot of time between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So,
this was 10 years before New Hope, right?
So if it's a big success, you could have something else. You could even tell the story that we got where he ends up eventually showing us with Darth Maul.
Do you think that possibly Obi-Wan series could lead into Ahsoka series?
I don't want it.
Nope.
I don't want that.
I'm just saying it's like it's just kind of like
but
almost
here,
kind of like a segue, or I mean, I want everything to kind of have its own, but at some point in time, you would think it would at least work within the.
You want some kind of connective
but
tissue.
See, that's an issue I have in the sense of. Ahsoka's got her own show. We don't need to put Ahsoka in everything. Let's
I agree.
We don't. I want to know what's happening with Obi-Wan during this time in between, Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I want to see kind of that. I want to see how it's depicted, and that's what I need. I don't need people to be shoehorned in unless it is necessary. Absolutely necessary.
I'm going to call it now. We will see Ian McDermott as the Emperor. If you're bringing Vader and Hayden Christensen's going to be straight up Vader, you will see Emperor Palpatine.
That's awesome.
That fits.
Yeah.
Sarah, is that a Hayden Christensen in a Vader suit? That is so inaccurate. He does not have hair anytime he's in the Vader suit, although it is badass.
We don't know hair.
No, he lost all that hair, dude. He got burned off. There's no way he has hair.
Greg, we could get an actual live-action Thrawn. If Vader goes and sees the Emperor and has his couch, I see it. That's really cool. But we could see, if you see the Grand Admiral and stuff, we could see Thrawn in this series because he's there at that time.
Please, who's gonna play Thrawn?
Greg,
Travis,
they have
warp
speed. They have warp speed.
They have warp speed. What's your point?
You tell me they can't freaking think of a wig?
But why
you can't make a wig?
But why would you regrow hair when you're Darth Vader and you never take
You
hair
don't have
off?
to regrow hair. You tell me you can't put out a wig?
But why would you wear a wig? Why?
I found this toy for my kid, and it was like the coolest thing because I was like,
"Coolest robot." Then you're like, "There's no way he can get hair."
That is an awesome toy. I love that, by the way. That is really cool. I was just picking on you about it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's gonna be badass too.
Well, it's just like Twilight Apprentice. It's like when he. Okay, raise your hand if you've seen it.
Greg will forget. You'll be fine.
I'll forget. Okay. I'll watch it again.
It's just like when you see that one part, and it's like it isn't like all burn up like what you would think. So it's all an interpretation.
We'll definitely see crispy face Vader in this. We'll see him in his meditation pod. We'll see crispy face Anakin, guaranteed.
Is he gonna
see him in the meditation pod, helmet off?
Because Nathan, how long was it like the rumors of Hayden Christensen? Everybody's like, okay, I want him to come back. I want,
I didn't think he was
still like the fan thing. I remember hearing some rumors, like some stirrings about it.
Correct.
Yes, going on for a couple of months now.
4 months ago, I was looking it up.
So, and now to find out that it's, a form of confirmation, it's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he confirmed really it. He put out a little statement saying.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it was. I don't know. That was one thing that was like just. Okay. Yeah.
It was fantastic. You got anything else you want to say about Obi-Wan?
No. Filming in a month.
There we go. Excited to see it. They also announced 2 Mandalorian spin-off shows, the Rangers of the New Republic and the Ahsoka show, and they plan on all 3 of these shows crossing over, meaning that they're planning on having the Mandalorian go for quite a while. I think Mandalorian is like the arrow of this universe, where it's the Godfather show that everything else ties into. So
there was very interesting wording. They gave confirmations about everything except for Mandalorian season 3. and they made an interesting statement saying that the next chapter in the Mandalorian saga would be Rangers of the New Republic and the Ahsoka-centric show, which Dave Filoni's working on one, and the other. So they never ever they confirmed everything. They were throwing shit right and left, and they never.
I
She
thought they
never
did
ever.
confirm
Yeah,
an
they said, I
episode.
thought they
No.
said December 2020. They say Christmas, December.
No.
Well,
That's for the next.
Here's
That's
my
for the next
only
Star Wars project.
my only backlash
That's
to that
for
is
that's for yeah.
my only backlash to that is the way they describe it is both spin-offs of the Mandalorian, the Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka. All 3 shows are planned to feature crossovers in the future. Is the only reason that I
They're
feel like
going
that.
MCU. Everything's going MCU. They're gonna do that. They wanted to do that
Like
with the movies
Infinite
before Solo.
Universe.
Remember?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
the whole
no,
plan before
Nathan,
Solo got
it's-
tanked.
Nathan, it is.
They
It's
did
Christmas Day.
confirm. I listened to all that, and I swore they never confirmed season
Yeah.
3 of Mandalorian when she was talking about that.
Almost every single one, every single of the major blogs and trades say it's
But
Christmas.
did
Yeah.
Does Star Wars confirm that, or Kathleen Kennedy? I'm just saying her in particular.
Every one of them are quoting
the
her.
Shepherd.
You're pulling
Oh,
straws
yeah.
here, Nathan. You're
I
pulling
must
straws,
have
buddy.
totally missed that. Then. Good. I'm glad. I'm
He's like,
glad.
Mandalorian's
I
gonna
wanna
die
be
till
wrong.
next episode.
Yeah. Yes, it's gone. No, good. I'm
Maybe, yeah.
glad I missed that thing because I was nervous
Grogu's
about
gonna
that.
choke him.
Well,
Grogu.
tell me what you think about this Rangers of the New Republic show. Like, Nathan, what do you know about this? What's the timeline for Rangers of the New Republic? I mean, I could imagine
I
what
know
the timeline is, but
nothing.
you don't know anything about it? Like, it's totally new characters? Does anybody know anything about it?
What I'm assuming is it's going to be in the time period we're at right now with the Mandalorian, because we have X-Wing pilots who I'm assuming are going to be, maybe not the X-Wing pilots, but that's going to be kind of your Rangers, the ones going planet to planet, because they deputized Cara Dune to marshal the entire fucking planet there, or at least that place is that, maybe not the whole planet, but her place. I've got a feeling it's going to be kind of like what we saw the two. I mean, I could be completely off base, but that's just what I get the impression, because you have marshals that are on planets. Well, what's a ranger gonna do? And we know the New Republic is spread thin right now, so like they're trying to control. I don't know. That's just what I feel like is maybe that it's gonna be just 2 guys out there just kind of going planet to planet and doing what they do. I don't know. That's my impression.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about it. Chris, did you threw your hands up? I didn't know if you meant like
No, I was like,
you don't know anything. Okay.
Well, I think
No,
it's like
I mean,
from what I can
everything
understand.
everything Nathan said was everything I got.
Okay. Sarah?
Well, I mean, I just from just a little guess whatnot. I think it's maybe I'm thinking about something else, but I was thinking it was just kind of a spin-off unto itself, like a new little adventure. But I may be confusing it with another one. I'm not quite sure. There was just so much. It's just my brain just went. So.
Travis, you know anything about it?
I don't know anything about it, Greg. Has anyone not seen Mando yet?
I have not seen.
Oh,
I have
We're
not
not
seen.
gonna
I have
talk
not seen
about
this
the
week's
new
episode yet.
episode.
Yeah, that's
That's
for
the one
Star Wars
we don't
Alliance.
talk about the
Yeah.
new one.
yeah. Yeah,
But
I haven't
the
seen
way
any of
that
them. Yeah.
But the way Mando's going now, the way the Mandalorian is going, it's bringing in so many characters. I mean, Mando could go in separate directions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me that, if he did, link up with, someone else or versus, this, that. So, I'm kind of liking the direction it's going. It's like he has his path, but yet it has these other little side tracks that sometimes involves him, sometimes it doesn't. So
I now that I think about it, just after following my train of thought, I'm probably completely off base with like the X-Wing pilots going there, as we know, unless this Ranger of the New Republic is going to tie directly into the first film that they've got coming. It might be a little too close, so I might be completely off base.
What is Cara Dune? Nah.
Marshall.
The Marshall.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, that maybe if you know.
She's the law.
Nathan,
So,
you watched the most recent episode, haven't you?
I
She's
did.
the
Okay,
law.
I have some questions, so I will write you.
there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think it's the same with the Ahsoka show, right? Like, we don't know anything about it. We know Rosario Dawson's playing Ahsoka. We know Ahsoka Tano's going to be in it. Do we
I'm
have an idea of
hoping-
time frame or anything else? Is it going to be like before where we saw her in Mandalorian, or is it going to be that
I imagine
point
this
forward?
is the backdoor
Like,
pilot. Mando is backdoor pilot. I imagine it's literally the hunt for Thrawn and Ezra.
Mhm.
If I'm guessing,
That's
Give
what
me
I'm
that.
hoping.
that's my guess.
give me that.
Yes.
I think she specifically. I think that was the backdoor pilot. She
Mhm.
specifically name dropped him because like
Yes.
Gideon is the villain for Mando. Thrawn
Yes.
is going to be the villain for Ahsoka.
I'm down.
Yes.
Let's do it. I am down.
Which is
Yes,
why I
let's do
said.
it.
Which is why I said you could see the live action introduction in Kenobi. Like if we have a flashback, or let's just say we see Vader and he's in the fucking he's in there with the Emperor in the in the Imperial Palace, and like Vader's in there, and then just off to the side you got this white suit, blue skinned alien, like Thrawn could come in because he's working his way up the ranks at this time, or he could literally you could see him introduced there because Katie and I we talked about it a couple episodes back. There's been speculation for at least a month now, where the guy who does the voice for Rebels is in talks to actually reprise the live action role for that, and that's been a rumor forever. And then it's nobody said anything, but like it's been a rumor because he does the voice so good, and if you put a little prosthetic on, he looks like the character.
Does it?
So like the same guy that, and then when you hear him, you'd go, oh, Thrawn, from Rebels.
Does it sound anything like the guy who does the Zahn book?
Mark Thompson.
Yeah.
No, it's close. You get used to it, but man, doesn't that guy do the
because I
perfect
love
voice?
that
I
sound,
told you, that's
dude.
what makes you fall in
Hey,
love.
I
Nathan.
love that voice. Yeah.
Hey Nathan,
Yeah.
what if they end up
Yes,
having like a live action Twilight of the Apprentice?
I'll be pissed because why are you gonna do it over?
But I mean, maybe it's part
Bullshit.
of the story.
No. Star Wars is. I'm okay. I'm not like shooting you down. Like I would watch it, but Star Wars.
Maybe not.
I'll even
exactly
pay for
that.
it. Things like, damn it, I'll buy the hard
Maybe
copy just for my
at
collection.
some point.
Right. Well, no. I'm just saying. Like it's the Disney is the truly it's all connected. Or the Star Wars is truly the it's all connected. They're not the Marvel bullshit where they're like, yeah. Like you see that guy over there. They talk about us, but we don't fucking know them. No, like. Comics
like
mean
pick and
something,
choose.
books mean something, animation means something. Like they're not gonna retread it, and if they do, I'm gonna be pissed because there's other stuff they could have retread and give it a redo. Like, sorry, but if we're getting to just throw in redos, all right, let's redo some shit with the Last Jedi, and let's not make Luke a punk bitch throwing his lightsaber over his shoulder. Let's not do Leia
Why
Poppins.
can't we
I'm just
Revan
saying,
into
if we're going back to
Never
change shit, I don't
seen
think
this
so.
What about Revan?
Never seen this coming.
I knew it was coming.
Just saying. But I'll
Took
give me
the
Revan
bait.
all day. Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Well, you know what you're
I'll
going to do
take
with that
Revan all
time
day.
machine. We know what you're going to do
Well,
with
the
that time machine.
one thing I will say about Ahsoka, her series, the one thing I hope they do figure out is make her look more like she should look.
They
Ooh,
will.
elaborate.
Like with
The
the
Miku, the
like
head
the
tails.
You
Liku
don't like the head
and the
tails?
Mandrel,
Okay.
to make her, because that was the only issue I had with seeing Rosario Dawson, and I completely understand. And I talked about this
Practical.
Star Wars Alliance. I completely understand why they did that, because it was just you had certain limitations for live action movement, and I get that. But I'm thinking, if you're going to have a live action series of her and she's going to be at that age, she should at least look the part. So
As
hopefully,
Chris shared with me 2 weeks ago after that episode, somebody came out and said that we are working to improve the head test for future project, or like for future installments or something like that. So, like you said, this is a priority. They don't want back, like when her series comes out, they don't want people to be like, she looks like she's fucking a teenager again. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna want.
and I'm thinking, that was the thing about too, because her being in that episode or in that chapter, I think that was just kind of like a run through. Let's see what's going to happen
pilot.
So,
to see
Absolutely.
how we can improve on this.
so y'all
So,
didn't like the head tails. Like, was it like the size? Was it like should have been a C cup and
Yeah.
was a B cup type deal?
Should have been
Yes,
bigger.
exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Should have
Because
been.
the older they
Should have
get,
threw
the
some
more they
D's on
have-
it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Were you
Okay.
okay with the
Okay.
reasoning for this appearance, though?
Absolutely.
Because, like, I know that it probably would have been more eviscerated if the Jedi fighting was terrible and the stunts were terrible. I would imagine it would have got more torn apart than when they gave the reasoning why. But
Right.
like Nathan said, like Chris pointed out, Nathan about their ongoingly working on it.
Mhm.
Think about it just for CW, for example. Remember Flash's first costume from season 1 to what it is now? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
How about Superman's? costume until now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sometimes it works to the worst. Like Diggle's costume, in my opinion, got progressively worse to the point where he had like a neon green.
You didn't like Guardian?
Light
What? Come on.
Whatever.
They were preluding to the future, man. Neon green lantern. There you go. They were dropping Easter eggs.
They were spitting in Brent's face. Greg, that's what they were doing. They were spitting in Brent's face.
Great.
Yeah. Who doesn't
But I
love
mean,
good
you gotta
Magneto
start
helmet?
somewhere. I mean, it's especially because I mean, how many Togrutas have you really had in live action?
And here's the thing too: if you start out and it looks like crap, you can only go up from there.
Exactly.
I didn't think it looked like crap, but I understand the length, but the coloring and stuff, and like you said, they're going to use different material like next time. And I know people saying CGI. That's a thing that's like a sketchy proposition where you're doing stunts at the same time.
I think they could make it work to where they didn't have to do CGI. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. I think you do go with practical is a much better effect. You just got to find the right material. It's just a trial. Like with the superhero suits, like they improve them. They give you a chance to use the washer. They give you air.
They made like an ice cream part maker / all around fucking come through with the IG-11 droid. They made you fall in love with him and had her like he moved and went like they've got this. They can make her Riku out of fucking CGI and they'll be completely fine. Like I have complete faith in them.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that as far as Ahsoka goes, that's the only thing. I mean, Rosario looked fantastic, but I'm just like, just make her. If she's a 40-some-odd-year-old Togruta, she's not gonna have her little. She's not gonna be snits. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, anything else you want to talk about Ahsoka, New Republic? Good. All right, well, Nathan, I want to talk to you about this one because you called this one out when we were doing the Clone Wars last season review. The Bad Batch. You called that the backdoor pilot. And I don't know if you...
I did.
Did that episode. I think it was like the second or third episode.
Yeah.
The backdoor pilot.
Yeah. Well, I had heard somebody else say that, and I did not think so. I was completely like, I don't fucking see it, whatever. But I am glad to say that after watching the trailer, first of all, it does look like a continuation of Clone Wars animation-wise, which is going to be great. But second of all, I called that shit. It's going to be the motherfucking A-Team in space, because if they didn't highlight 7 different shots to go to 7 different planets with that ship, you know why? It's because if you can find these men and you have enough money to find them, you can hire the A-Team and they're going to come, it's literally the A-Team in space. Which I'm fine with, but like that's all it's going to be. So I don't know how far we're going to go with this or how long it's going to last when every week they're going to this planet because, Jim Bob lost his dog and we're going to go help them out or what? I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm curious. I'm absolutely gonna watch it. Like the trailer looked good, but it's exactly what I thought it was gonna be, and I'm fine with that. That's like I'm gonna give it a shot because you know me, love animation, I love the Clone Wars era, so I love the clones. Like, let's go. But like, yeah, it's definitely if you've seen 18, you know what you're in store for.
Well, the timeline gets me with this one because like you can only have so much time between, I guess, the end of Clone Wars, where I guess you have that backdoor pilot for the Bad Batch, and then I guess when they're disbanded or dispersed. I don't know when that is. So how long did the Bad Batch hang around after the Empire fell?
Technically, you'd have to ask Kate. You'd have to ask Katie because she knows better than I do. But I think the way canon works now is after Revenge of the Sith stuff, Palpatine shut down the clones, and he kept some of them on, but he retired most of them. But like immediately, this is picking up right after Revenge of the Sith. So Palpatine hasn't completely shut it down and brought in, people to be his stormtroopers. Like there are still clones in the quote stormtrooper regime stuff. It's not all regular people. It's not like just me and you go. You know what? I'm joining the Empire.
Good.
I don't know if you guys have. I don't know if you guys done this at the start of the episode, but I want to say congrats to Katie for. Getting engaged.
We did not. Yeah. But yes.
Props to Katie and Matt. Katie got engaged.
Yeah, we didn't say anything about that, but yes.
Congratulations. Yes, I'll give it claps.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Well, it cut out for a second, then it came back.
Greg, what'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
I see press now all of a sudden.
Hey, I ain't touched nothing. It came back though. That's good. All right. Well,
Travis now all of a sudden.
Yeah, I didn't have anything about that. I just wanted to make you guys look bad. That's all.
Okay. Chris, you got anything on the Bad Batch?
I like. Again, it's more of the animation. It's more of the animation style. I've enjoyed it. You know, it was cool seeing them. They weren't necessarily obviously my favorite part of that season, but I definitely want to know more about them and kind of just see how they go.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that Echo's in there. Echo's a part of the team, and that's somebody that we follow through. And he's even got like a cool Swiss Army arm now, like a Swiss Army knife arm.
Yeah.
The socket puncher, you know.
Yeah.
I think
He's the R2 of the group.
I think there's got to be some synergy between superhero discussions and Star Wars Alliance.
I just said that. Yeah, I was just saying a little while ago.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
All right, cool. Let's talk about this Cassian Andor series. Rogue One's Diego Luna, or excuse me, Andor, starring Rogue One's Diego Luna, coming to Disney Plus 2022. Okay.
Bold prediction. I'll make it on this show. I say I don't know why. I think we will see a live-action Kanan Jarrus where Freddie Prinze Jr. comes in to play the role, that it's in some kind of flashback or something. I think we will see Freddie Prinze Jr. as Kanan. Yeah. That's my swing for the fences. Now, now maybe not Andor, but maybe it's in the movie that we know is coming up, and I'll show you how I'll connect those dots in a minute. But when we talk about that, I'll let you know. So.
Okay. Oh, so is the Cassian Andor series and it's Andor a different show?
No, it's just called Andor, but it's the Cassian series.
Okay, gotcha.
No, there's a movie later on that Kanan can pop up to that I'll talk about. But Andor, it's we finally they're filming. There's rumors that Grand Moff Tarkin could be in this, and the same guy who did him for Rogue One, and the state already gave the okay to use that model, and Disney has that model, and that actor has his mannerisms as well. Whatever. There's been rumors that he's going to be in there. Mon Mothma being in there, I think it's really fucking cool. Of course, K2SO. I gotta believe they're going to introduce us to some characters that we know from offshoots or from this or from that, little minor character. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see some people in there that we go, oh, hello there. As Kenobi would say or whatever.
Hey, and I want to say real quick to everybody, I'm sorry if you're watching live. I'm echoing in the stream. I don't know why my microphone's doing this. It doesn't do it whenever I do the audio drop, so don't know why it's doing it in the live stream.
And I like how Travis just left without even saying
Yeah, his internet dropped.
Yeah, he just sent me He'll be back in a minute. Okay, so talking about this, Nathan, The Acolyte, a new Star Wars series helmed by Russian doll creator Leslie Headland, set in the High Republic era of the franchise. Thoughts?
I've got a couple. This is Disney's like, hey, we're gonna go do our own thing. Like this is straight up Disney Star Wars, which is what they've been working towards since they've got this. There's no baggage of the Skywalkers. They can do what they want. They can make a Last Jedi, and it'll be new characters that people don't give an F about, so there won't be all this, baggage or whatever going. Like, you know what I'm saying?
There'll be baggage.
If we get into, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if we get into the High Republic and we walk up to somebody and they immediately grab a lightsaber, throw it over the shoulder, we're just gonna go, oh yeah, that was hilarious, because we don't know him. We don't give a shit about him. We don't have 40 years of knowledge and know that he's gonna rebuild the Jedi Academy. You know what I'm saying? So like in that movie, it'll be great. But that is the book series that kicks off next month, and there's a huge collaboration between every kind of medium of, especially now with other than a movie, there's synergy with every medium. Novels, comics, audio dramas are going to be coming with this, and now a series that pertains to the end of it. Like, this is where they're going. Everybody wanted an Old Republic. They said, F you, we're going to give you some old stuff, and not as old as you want. We're going to do Disney Star Wars. But like, I'm very curious to see. And people are saying that this new book by Charles Soule is fucking keeps you on the edge of your seat. So far, is what I've heard.
Hey Nathan, what would I need a little bit of George Lucas imitation. What would George have to say about all this?
I I don't even know. You just called me.
I
wasn't putting it in, but I'm just saying, like this is theirs. You know where they're gonna do. And this is theirs. This, like I said, they're gonna explore this. This is the next phase. I know they just announced a bunch of stuff that's gonna connect this, but like this is where we're going. They want to get away from the characters with the baggage and the like. And, you know, my big problem is like, you know, we love Ahsoka and stuff, but they want to get away from you know, we love Ahsoka too. And no, she wasn't dead. And yeah, she didn't help Luke do anything because she was over here doing this. And you know, we had 4,700 Jedi that were still alive, and every one of these son of a bitches all just sat with their thumbs up their asses. Whenever they would have came together, maybe they could have rebelled against the Emperor. But
they were hanging out playing Nintendo. It's okay.
This is where they're going, though. Like I said, they want to pave their own way. Because, like I said, there's no baggage.
You know what? They were defending the galaxy for long. The galaxy said, "Middle finger, screw you." Say, "Fine, I'm taking my toys and going home. I'm playing my Nintendo. Screw you, galaxy."
Well, I mean, it's kind of cool to have, you know, it's like some new stuff, but yet it's always nice to kind of pepper in some, you know, history and old, you know, just kind of just.
But watch what people say, that it's new, it's different, that you're gonna have that side of the community that's gonna be like, screw that, I want my lightsabers, I want the characters I know.
There's gonna be sabers.
No, it happens all the time in all mediums, but particularly Star Wars.
I mean, it's got to connect at some point. I mean, you got to have and that's the thing about the Jedi.
Yoda's your
from what I always
tissue.
get,
that's all you need.
From what I get from the Jedi, it's always history. You know, you always have history, legacy, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, it's just, you can't really go to something completely new and not have that attached to it. I mean.
Well, you know, it's like I said before, we always seen Star Wars with a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, a galaxy far, far away. Why can't we get one either an even longer time ago or a galaxy right now far, far away? Like, you can have stories in that could be, you know, because I don't know how long a long time ago is. Does anybody know the
5 years?
5 years? I wasn't sure what the quantifiable measure was for that.
COVID time, you know, we had COVID time makes it worse.
Yeah, Travis, what do you think is a long time ago?
In a galaxy far, far away.
There's the time since I've had really reliable internet.
Yeah. That seemed like a long time ago.
And I threatened to quit literally 3 weeks ago, and they offered me $35 off my monthly plan.
You took it, didn't you?
Well, I didn't really want to get another. We only got 3 companies, and I don't really want to get another one come in, and it was roughly the same price. And I don't know. I think I should have, but clearly I should have. It's just a bit of wind here, and I think that's what's doing it. I don't know.
Snow, all that kind of good stuff. You guys got snow yet?
We had a big snowstorm, but that was kind of the next day.
That was kind of a long time ago. At Travis, it was 60 degrees where I was at today.
That's not degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, Fahrenheit. Yeah, I don't know what it is Celsius. I'm not gonna do
like 47 right now. I mean, you know,
come on, man.
I'm not gonna get into the empirical systems with you guys.
Sorry,
we won't understand them.
I guess it was left out of the social studies books for the American.
We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it. We got our own system.
It was a great decision to get that. That was probably in your social studies books, where mine basically made fun of America. That's kind of why I got that. Hey. It's like only 3 countries, and like the 2 other countries were like Algeria and Lebanon. So
how big is a quarter of an inch?
Travis.
As big as the world's tiniest violin.
Oh, okay.
Greg, we live in the South.
I know.
Like, we can, like, one day go through all 4 seasons.
Anyway.
Was it because of the quarter inch?
Yeah. It was a quarter inch.
Yeah. Was the ball? Okay, yeah.
All right. We got a couple more Star Wars things to talk about. There is a droid story project. I'm assuming this is going to be like an animated kids show.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay, I'm assuming it's going to be aimed towards kids. The movie.
It is going to be done by Industrial Light and Magic. Okay. So I have got to think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've got to think it'll be some of that crisp, clean CGI animation, like the Clone Wars and stuff.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but you know, it's not Lucas Animation. It's Industrial Light and Magic doing this.
Also,
Okay.
So
look at the Mandalorian.
they're collaborating. Yeah.
Look at the Mandalorian and what they were made. They made us feel for that robot,
Right.
that droid in a matter of just 2 or 3 episodes. So just what they could do is definitely.
It's not something I'm real jazzed about, but I'll check it out.
A movie. It's a series. My bad.
Yes, that's what I'd say. I'm not like super jazzed or pumped, but I'm not like droids. But like, whatever. I think it's more of an homage to the old Droids cartoon series more than anything. But I'll give it a spin.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Anthony Daniels is reprising his role as C-3PO, so.
I mean, it's on Disney Plus. I own Disney Plus. I can watch it for free.
Sure.
I'll probably eventually end up watching it at some point in time. So, then I think the last one really to talk about. Oh no, there's 2 more. The Lando series, which is a great idea.
Lando.
Yeah. I'm assuming Lando. Are they going to get Donald Glover play?
Because
they better.
That's what I mean. Well,
will it ruin it for you if they don't?
No, it won't ruin it. But
No.
I think that there's. And again, it's not necessarily saying anything against Billy D. I would love seeing a little bit of Billy D in it as well, but Billy D also can't move as well these days, and he's I want to see him. I liked what they said on Geekverse. Make it like a young Indiana Jones thing. Have a couple of flashbacks with sitting back with Lando telling it how it was in the old days.
Yeah.
You could have Lando just pick up something. He could just pick up something.
Remember
the
the
story.
end of Rise of Skywalker. He tells that one girl who, where are your roots or where are you from? And she says, I don't know. And he says, let's find out. And we know in an ancillary novel, so come to find out, that was Lando's daughter that got taken by the First Order because they were stealing children from the old Republic, from the old rebels. And I don't know, I'm not. Billy D is 83. I'm not, and unless this thing is mega nuclear fast track, I ain't trying to say anything bad, but come on, Billy, he's 83. It's not like Sam Jackson who's up there, but you know what I'm saying?
Dick Donner's still directing.
I still feel like it would be like a younger, I don't know. It seems like it might be like more of a younger.
As long as he's not having sex with droids in the back of the fucking Falcon and shit. Come on, man. Let's just let Lando be Lando, where he was just cool and I know, it's 2020, it's not PC because that he likes girls or whatever. We got to make it where. Stop it. Let's just have Lando be cool. Let's just have him be the ladies' man. I don't want him out there being like, oh, I'm gonna go finger bang my droid over here because get out of here. Stop it.
That's graphic.
I want to get rid of all that. I'm just serious.
Oh,
he did. Droid.
Billy D did tweet out the Deadline article talking about it. So I mean.
Yeah.
All right. I think the last show is Visions.
Well, you guys know what I'm saying. He's gonna take one of her screws out and put his finger in there just to cork the hole.
Stop talking about this.
It's called an oil check, sir. Oil check.
Right.
Nathan!
Sorry.
Well, come on. Stop it.
So, last show is Star Wars Visions, upcoming anime anthology series.
No.
Yeah, one more.
Well, okay,
series. Okay.
Yeah, that's the last series.
Last series, excuse me, yeah. Well, let's talk about that real quick.
No.
Nathan, is this going to be like the animated movie that I own that I've never watched that you want?
Okay. No.
The Clone Wars one that you're like, yeah, that's the one I want.
No.
I don't know how I own it, but I do.
From my understanding, these are going to be shorts done in the true anime style, like Japanese animation, but these are going to be little shorts. And if I have my preference on what it's going to be, because Japanese anime, they do very stylized things. You want to talk about some of the most beautiful backgrounds. It almost looks like it's real. You wouldn't believe it was drawn. Oh my God, go to Japan, go to these, because these fucking artists are top notch. But they very stylized. There's a lot of emphasis on Japanese food and a lot of their stuff like that. And then there's a lot of people's eyes get big and buggy, or when they get mad, there's these little steam marks over their head. They do all this silly shit. But if they do it, and I would encourage everybody right now, you can go on YouTube and you can look up the animated TIE Fighter short movie. It is 7.5 minutes. Fucking brilliant. And it's fans, they get the sounds, they did fucking brilliant. You want to do something like that? Oh, I am all in, but I don't need to see Luke Skywalker where his hair is a little more exaggeratedly long and it's blowing in the wind all stylized and the rain's hitting him and just, because like I said, love Japanese. You know, I'm Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing. I mean, I'm not like super anime. You know, Attack on Titan, but I do like some anime. So like, I don't need to see. You know what I'm saying? Where it's real stylized and he's just overly jacked, muscular, and you know, like he just cut. I don't know. Like, no, I'm not. This is me just saying, but this is just my out having more information. I'm basically just going off of what I know of now. That's the impression I get. The interpretation is going to be something like that.
No.
Or have you seen Batman Ninja? That fucking hot garbage. Oh, I can see it's going to be something
Is
like
it
that.
hot garbage?
Star Wars.
But I haven't
Like,
seen it yet.
good
Okay, I haven't
God,
seen it
that
yet.
movie's hot garbage. They do not understand, and I get it. This is Japan. This is Japan's interpretation of Batman. Well, I got a newsflash. These motherfuckers don't have a clue who Batman is. If this is their interpretation of Batman, I'm just saying. God, it was hot garbage. I turned that thing right the fuck off.
What's up, Travis? You got something?
I don't know how I can follow that up, to be honest with you.
Hey.
Nah, I don't think you have to. We just let that lie.
Yeah. Leave that one be.
About the whole robot thing we were talking about, the descriptions there, we just let that lie too.
Does anybody have any thoughts about that? There's not a whole lot of information. So, you know, just kind of a new announcement. Wonder Woman 84's Patty Jenkins will be directing the next Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadrons, due out December 2023. Thoughts?
This is what I. Sorry. Okay, yes, that too. But this is what I was talking about, Sarah. This is my other prediction where we could see a live-action Freddie Prinze Jr. reprise his role as Kanan, because if Hera Syndulla isn't the main character of this movie, or if not the co-main character, then Patty's really fucking up in life, because she is I'm not 100% because I'm sorry. I found both of the Rogue Squadron books to be ridiculously dull because shit doesn't happen until like the middle of it, and I couldn't get through the beginning. Sorry. So I turned that shit back in. But Katie said if you plunge through it, they really do get good, because she said the same thing. Fucking slog in the beginning. I'm sorry, writer, whoever author did it. I know you're never going to hear this, but good God,
Katie was saying that was like one of her favorite.
But yet she said once you get to that back end or like that middle, that swing, it's phenomenal. But like I said, if she's following that same, like Hera's a part of the Rogue Squadron. Okay. She is one of the most beloved female characters in all of Star Wars from Rebels. If you don't bring in a live action Hera, you're fucking up in life. But man, I'm so. What era will this be? You know, is this Imperial and it's going to be just dogfighting with TIE fighters and shit? Because I'm all about that. Give me X-wings. What era are we in? Could we see Red 5? Is it going to be Rebel-esque? I mean, is it going to be like Skywalker that? Out there?
I mean, is it going to be like Rebel-esque? You know?
I don't know. Is it going to be like the old Rogue Squadron books that are legends now? Where you know what I'm saying? Like there's I'm very curious where it's going, but I'm just saying Patty needs to cast. She needs to have a live action Hera Syndulla, and I think you could possibly, if we don't see Freddie, I don't know. Like I said, that was my big, what'd you call it, Dorito or Cool Ranch or whatever the fuck thing. I think we see Freddie Prinze Jr. in. Yeah.
I just love. I love that she put out a little film thing about her history of her dad being a pilot in the Air Force and how much she's tried to want to do a movie like this in that point. Right. And she's a Star Wars fan, and she puts on the jumpsuit and you see her walking out to an X-wing at that point. That was cool. That was really cool. I mean, again, if she's done even close to everything she's done with Wonder Woman at that point, yes, sign me up. I am there. And the fact that to your point, Nathan, we get to see a movie that we're gonna get some gosh darn awesome dogfighting going on.
Yeah,
I want to see her. I want to see the ghost. I want to see it all.
Yeah,
I want to see it all.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see it all. And the fact Rogue Squadron just sounds badass. Sorry,
I've got to read that series.
Yeah, and this picture right here with the Rogue Squadron and the X-wing in the background of the behind Squadron just looks awesome. I love that, man. Looks really, really cool.
But to see a live action Kanan, oh my God, I need that. I need that.
He wouldn't be the main focus, because
But even if it was a flashback, even if it was like a memory, if it was, I don't care. I want to see some of that. That would be so fantastic to see live action Kanan.
I guess technically, well, no, because they're gonna have to. If you're getting a Rogue Squadron, you're this has gotta be. I think you're fucking up in life if you don't have a live action Hera Syndulla. Like, I'm just throwing that out there right now. I think Hera needs to be one of your main characters, if not the main character, because they did a lot of legwork to build that character up in novels and especially in Rebels. And I think this is the time.
How do you know you wouldn't see
Patty,
Hera in? How would you know you wouldn't see Hera in Ahsoka's series?
You very well could. You very well could.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's
shout out to the game series. Shout out to
She's got to show up somewhere. She's got a live action Hera's got to show up somewhere.
Especially the second one. The second one was fire.
All right. Last Disney point that I have here is Disney discussed the untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars movie announced in May that has already been in development. You guys got any ideas what this might be? No? See, I gotta be honest.
You're asking us to get into the brain of Taika.
I gotta be honest.
So
I can't believe how this was filmed a week ago and there haven't been leaks about it. You know?
They do a better job.
Tight ship.
Things aren't the same, Mr. Greg. You're not exactly like security is a bit like higher level. You're not exactly allowed to like come and go as you please.
I guess COVID did help that.
You got to keep track of everybody that is in every place.
Sure.
So.
And that raised me to another question. Do you guys ever miss just being excited about seeing a trailer for a movie and it's all you ever knew about it and then going to see the movie? Do y'all ever miss that? Like, now it seems like before I go into a movie, I know all this crap about it. It used to be, I maybe saw the trailer, or my parents told me we were going to see this movie. You know?
But that's our choice now to do that, though.
Yeah.
You know, you can basically, you know, is it more difficult to do that now? Yeah, but there's something within all of us that just want to know this stuff in that way. You don't have to click the article that goes into, you know, like the behind the scenes stuff. You don't have to.
I do, because Travis tells me I have to read it for the show.
Well,
so
yeah, if you want to host the podcast with me,
yeah, true.
Hope that you would, you know.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that's the way I feel about Wonder Woman 84, because I really didn't want to see.
Travis.
I didn't want to see Cheetah. I really didn't want to see Cheetah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be surprised, but
it's a hard endeavor to be surprised. Like you got to mute everything. You got to.
I know.
Just do what Nathan does. Sign on Twitter.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, just pull a Nathan. Get off Twitter.
So we're all going to get off Twitter. Chris is going to relay all the messages to us from Twitter.
Nope.
All three of us.
I just did that when Nathan asked me to.
He suggested it.
You know what I find interesting?
What's that?
Something that wasn't mentioned, or someone in their trilogy that wasn't mentioned at all, which I think the rumors are true that now I could be wrong, but Patty's going 2023. They've got them in 3-year or 2-year intervals. 2025 will be Taika's. So 2027, 7 years before you get going. I didn't hear any mention of the Rian Johnson fucking acclaimed trilogy. You know, Mr. We love everything he does, and he's gonna be the next trilogy. And, whatever, Catholic.
Put that in the salt shaker that you're like shaking into his
oh, shake it harder, man.
No, he's gonna be doing just fine, because by all means, I've heard Knives Out is fantastic, and like he's got his little quirky projects that he does. He will be just fine. And as I've said before, there's certain people that click with Star Wars and certain people that don't, and I personally think that he doesn't.
Well, he didn't have a fair shake either.
I think he understands. This is
shake.
my personal opinion.
No, Nathan,
I
know. I'm just joking. I'm just saying.
I know.
Personally, your feelings for him is like a lot some people have for Zack Snyder with DC characters.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
That's a very good point.
Sure. And I totally get that.
The difference is totally Nathan has a point, they're wrong. But that's the difference. So.
Here we go. Like I said, the only preface is I don't wish ill on the man's family, and I don't wish that he never worked again. I just want him to just, you know, but I don't know. Let's consult. I really enjoyed that. Let's consult with somebody.
Are you saying stop? You just wanted to stop?
No, I want him to consult.
I'm assuming you're talking about
Yeah,
Last Jedi?
yeah, I enjoyed all three.
Okay.
Enjoyed all three. So,
Okay.
Well,
but I'm not. I haven't read any books, so I'm not in deep like Nathan. So, like, that's that.
Taika Waititi scares me also. Honest to God, that movie scares me because
You're
the
gonna
best
get that
thing he
forced
ever said on
comedy,
that
man.
on that behind the scenes thing that they did where they were interviewing the directors, the smartest thing and the nugget that I don't think a lot of people glanced over was when they were all, S and Taika's D, like, which is fine, he deserved it. He straight up said, he's like, oh, Dave Filoni and John Favreau. He's like, John Favreau is great. He knows what he's doing. And Filoni, the man's a walking encyclopedia, and he's the perfect person. When I get too far out of the lines, he reins me back in. You know why? Because Taika goes out of the lines on purpose because he just wants to do weird, quirky. Look at me, we're zany, wacky. So like without a Dave Filoni, with there, just kind of go, hey, reel it back in about two zanes. Like that's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When is Bryce Dallas Howard gonna get a damn movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, like give it to her.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
After this week's episode of The Mandalorian, which we're not going to talk about it right now.
Nope.
I'm once again raising my flag and like my signs and like where the hell is Rick Famuyiwa's series or his movie or whatever? Because damn, was this episode good? And I know you haven't seen it. But we'll talk about it. Every episode that he's done, and he wrote this one too. Again, fabulous. Give this man a movie because he obviously knows the universe. He knows what he's doing, and he can make Star Wars. And I am more firmly committed to that. Like, let's go. Let's get this campaign going. We're gonna
Definitely
do
knows how to
this
keep
year.
that
Let's get
tension.
Rick Famuyiwa.
Yeah.
Which new Star Wars one is Deborah Chow a hold of? I remember
Obi-Wan.
was Obi-Wan. Okay, yeah, because I remember seeing that and I'm thinking, ooh, that's gonna be good.
I want to get this on
Let's get him that
record.
Lando.
I want to get this on record.
Give him Acolyte.
Yeah.
Say it, Travis.
No spoilers to Greg.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and figure out how to word this.
You can spoil it, I don't care.
No, I won't. I don't want to. Mando's message, so you all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Except for Greg.
Mhm.
That doesn't give anything away.
Mm-hmm.
Was the biggest mistake he ever made. It was so cool, but I think personally, I'll tell you after why, but I think personally it was the biggest mistake he ever could have made. Because of some of the things he says in there, I think.
Me too. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you.
It perked my ears when they said it too. So I get.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now I gotta watch this episode as soon
I
as we
agree
get
with
done.
that.
Damn it, Greg. Damn it.
That's what my badminton
Well,
doubles
no,
partner would always do this to me when we were on the same page.
I hear you.
Dude, I'm
So
like my kids. Like, yeah, I got you.
My kids know that means they're in trouble.
Yeah, it's
So,
like
fucking watching you. That's right.
Like I said, I'm gonna start beating that drum or whatever. Rick Famuyiwa, he really needs to have his own. So give him the Acolyte, let him do the show, let him do Lando, let him do a project of his own in whatever time period he wants, because he knows he gets this universe and he can keep you on the edge of your seat.
Right.
Yeah, he's definitely got a different view on the whole story. Like he's got definitely a different view. I mean, it's because whenever you see him doing an episode, it's definitely has a different flavor, shall we say? So
But
I mean,
it fits. Like it does. It's not outside the lines. Like
no, I don't think so.
I get what you're saying.
No. And I agree with Travis for this particular one. I feel like that might have been one misstep, but for the majority of it, I felt like.
Oh my god, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm definitely ready to go watch this now.
It was awesome.
Tune in more Sunday morning at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Because it's Katie and I and Sarah. This week we'll be talking to anybody else who wants to join.
I might try to hop on
Anybody
that
else
one.
that would
You know?
like to
So
join.
let's see what happens. I might try to hop on that one.
Oh, I had a blast last week. I mean, I had an absolute blast.
Oh yeah,
Damn you, Chris.
it's a great show. Well, y'all got any? Did I miss anything with Star Wars? Would you want to talk about the Pixar stuff?
Pretty good overall for everything, honestly, because I mean,
I'm changing it to a thumbs down and then change it back to a laugh because it was that funny.
I took it personal.
Well, I'm not really. I'm not gonna bring up the Pixar stuff. We can save that for another show some other time. It's not Baymax, The Last Dragon, Zootopia, Tiana, Encanto. You
Nailed it.
I'm not
I will say
that.
Lightyear.
Yeah.
Fucking
We
nailed
could
it, Greg.
have we could have ended it. We could have ended it with
Let's just end it with that.
Justice
Yeah, I'm
League-
not gonna go into the
the
Pixar
Justice
stuff.
League
So,
investigation kind of concluded,
Disney
but
had a
that was
big
while you were
day.
recording.
yeah, big.
What
Justice-
happened?
Justice League investigation for Ray Fisher is concluded.
And
Action is going to be taken.
Remedial
it's all
actions.
right.
Remedial action.
Remedial actions. Yeah, it ended right before we started. By the way, if you want to check that out, we're going to be talking about
What's
DC
that
Alliance
mean?
podcast this Tuesday. So check that out.
what do you mean? They're gonna go back? They're gonna go back and be like, "You're in trouble now, motherfucker!" Like, what are we talking about?
Well, they're going to be like, I would imagine, some people who had power and kind of wielded it like they never had power before may get some consequences.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah,
But
that's,
at the very least, you don't want this to happen ever again. That's kind of usually when you go through this. Speaking from personal experience with a work complaint, HR, all that. Even if you do get satisfaction a little bit, you don't get exactly what you're looking for. It's almost like a compromise in a sense, because ultimately, most of the time, it's your word against theirs. But there are some people backing Mr. Fisher up, so it's gonna. I think
it almost sounds like the union saying,
for you guys to break
"Don't
it
do that
down."
again." Yeah.
no, not what he put out. It didn't sound like that to me, really. I think when we get the official statement from WB, like Warner, because I assume they're waiting, they're crafting that now. It might be like somewhat big if it's like kind of the way it was worded of remedial action.
It
Kinda
depends. It depends on what they want to admit fault to, because I mean, like you said, no matter what, they're still a greasy company, and it's all about legal terms and what you can prove. It don't matter what happened; it's all in a court of law what you can prove. And I'm not saying like obviously they went through, but I'm just saying like what to what degree? You know what I'm saying? Like we all want this justice, but like what degree is WB going to be like? Yeah, my bad, and the rest are going to be like, oh no. You know what I'm saying? I'll be very curious to find that out. Like, what degree of blame and shoulder of the responsibility are they going to take as a company that allowed such behavior, or whatever they admit to? You know what I mean?
That if it's not good enough, or if it's not enough, we will hear from Fisher Ray about it.
Oh,
you're going to hear about Ray. You're going to hear from Ray about
the other.
what?
We're going to hear what he's got to say for sure. Yeah, he's going to tell us whether you want to hear it or not, whether he's happy or not.
Right.
So I'm
you're going to hear that.
Whatever, I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, we're going to cover that on DC Alliance podcast live Monday evening.
Looking forward to it.
Drops Tuesday. Check us out. I think me and Katie are going to be on that one because Travis has some exams. But it's going to be a good time. So
good luck with all your exams, Travis.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
I was really good. I was really glad. I almost wrote in. I almost wrote in something like I can't remember what the word was, but I had Loki half wrote in and was like, "Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself back in the game."
There you go. All right. Well, that's all I got for tonight. Like, this was a big news coming out, so there's a lot to cover. Y'all ready to get out of here?
Let's do it.
Cool. Travis, where they find you, buddy?
Travis_156 on Twitter. Drop me a line. We can chat anytime. And Superhero Discussions and Geek Ultimate Alliance. I want to especially thank the listeners for Superhero Discussions. We've had a little bit of a uptick in listeners the last few weeks.
Yes.
I don't know if it's how good we're doing, or if me and Greg are getting dragged up a little bit by the bat himself, which is what I'm thinking.
I'm always going to give the bat the credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, except in the episodes, and
yeah.
I think more listeners are starting to take exception to that, like Mr. Snell.
Yeah. Hey, I like the last three. You're right. Episodes 10 that started turning around, so I like the last three. So, yeah, but check it out. It's a good show. Sarah, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at MyLadyKitten. Drop me a line if you wish. Talk anything, DC, Marvel, Star Wars. Thank you, Nathan and Katie. And then also Star Trek as well. So I'm here.
Chris, where can they find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter at Chris Balga. We've got World's Finest True Believers at Finest Believers. We've got our last new episode of 2020 dropping on Monday. Nice. After that, there'll be 2 retros in a row, and then we'll get back to the new ones. But the last one of the new year, we'll end it with a bang. As I tweeted out from the account, we're just going 3 words. It's morphin' time.
Ooh,
Nathan will be joining.
it.
Nathan
Yeah.
makes his first
that
appearance.
devilishly handsome co-host. I mean, I'm just saying,
Nathan joins me in his first time on World's Finest to look at Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Year 1. So that'll be dropping on your feeds on Monday morning. So
yes,
yeah.
Sarah. Yes.
So yeah, and then Marvel Alliance, Marvel A podcast. We'll do our also last news show of the year. So
they also did a special like 0.5 episode from yesterday. Check that out. I was on that for a little bit, and that was so much fun. Wish I could have stayed for the whole thing, but just it's the Marvel podcast for me. Anyway.
I did see it, at least the part before you left. I did see all that. So yes,
Good stuff. Nathan, where can they find you, buddy? Where can't they find you? They can't find you on Twitter. Yeah.
No. So they can find me Sunday morning right here on YouTube. Well, on the Geekverse feed, technically, on YouTube at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, I do believe, in the morning. And it'll be Katie and myself and Sarah and possibly Greg and whoever else would like to join. Clay, open invitation. Mr. Snail, Darth Maple Leaf himself, whoever wants to come on.
But
we will be talking
I love it.
Mando. Oh, that's what I've been calling him, Darth Maple Leaf, because he's been. I've just heard he's been so anal about Boba Fett and all that other stuff coming, and that's just Darth Maple Leaf.
You have to remember, I'm also Darth Mommy.
I think you meant the other tracks, right?
Okay, I was going to say
not Snail. I mean talking not Heinz.
Yeah.
Snail is Darth Maple.
Yeah.
I was like, I loved it.
Yeah. Yes. No, 57 and I, we are the mega powers. We are all
there. You go.
We got this. We know what's up.
I love the mega powers.
All right, y'all. You can find me at the Bat Daddy 52 on Twitter. Only form of social media. Hit me up. I like to debate about a lot of things. I like to talk about a lot of things. I'm on the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. Check me out there. You can find me anywhere. C3 Panther Podcast. And what do you got? What's up, Dad?
I was just going to say, coming soon, we'd like to announce Street Sharks Alliance will be coming very, very
DuckTales
soon.
Alliance, Captain Planet Alliance.
Malcolm in the Middle Alliance is coming 2021.
All that,
We need a Federation Alliance.
Yes. Oh, I like that. Oh, Federation Alliance. I like that.
Sarah, I don't want to say stuff that could actually be a show. That's why I haven't said like Harry Potter or Star Trek or something, because I don't want to fool people.
What about a Potter Alliance?
I don't want to say that stuff.
Potter Alliance.
Potter Alliance.
You're making
work
with
Percy
Clay.
Jackson Alliance.
Saved by the Bell.
Let's get out of here,
guys,
man.
Get ready. Growing Pains.
Yeah. Dude, we could do all kinds of alliances. I like it.
Yes.
Just put alliance behind anything.
The invasion, the whole invasion storyline. We're gonna have a podcast dedicated to that.
Alien Alliance.
We're gonna do. It's gonna be the invasion from WWF and WCW. What's up? Here we go, guys.
I'll be on that show. I'll be on that show for sure.
I only remember a few years of that, so that would have.
We're doing a whole rewatch. We're getting WWE Network.
Figures.
We're watching every pay per view.
I love it.
Not the Ultimate Warrior, was it?
I love it.
Was that the Ultimate Warrior?
That is the
Yes,
Ultimate
sir.
Warrior.
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
I did. Yes, I wasn't even paying attention.
He's
All
always
right,
with
y'all.
me.
Let's go ahead and get out of here. I gotta get up for work early in the morning. It's late where I'm at. Folks, thank you so much for listening. Everybody on the show, thank you all for being on. And we're going to take a 2-week break. So
And we'll see y'all next year.
We'll see you next year. Exactly.
Yes.
Super Civil Servants taking a 2-week break so everybody can enjoy their families for the holidays and have a good time.
Greg to drop the Star Wars episode that we did, the commentary.
I'm going to do that on Christmas Day just for you, buddy. Just for you.
Or whatever. What was the episode where like we were all on there and I was like hammered and fucking showed up late? Like drop that.
That's like 30% of the episode. So
close your eyes. Yeah. Close your eyes. Look at the list of episodes and pick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like But no, I definitely dropped that. Was it The Last Jedi? Or the
Rise of Skywalker.
Skywalkers. I think we were all like,
yeah, we were all pretty
that was hilarious.
Over the judge.
Yeah. I get it.
There you go.
Chris, we're gonna have someone that's like keeping the shit straight.
Let's get out of here.
Right.
I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, but folks, for your fans, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Blow this thing and go home.
That's right. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Crazy Kwanzaa.